Round one. Fight!
Hey, welcome to Team Ranker Fights. This is episode number 42. Tonight we are finally getting to it. We're doing best basketball movies, so I got to represent my favorite team. I'm a Clippers fan. I'm a fan of a lot of teams in the West, so I'll just say that. But and also too, I just wanted to before we start, if anyone wants to check these out, I thought they're pretty cool. I can't take credit for them. I found a bunch of like the old NBA Jam little matchups. So there's one for quite a few teams we'll be talking about tonight. So I mean, you're welcome to like take a screenshot, pause it if you want to see any more of those in greater detail. But yeah, I'm your host. I'm Air Jordan for tonight. I can't take credit for the name. It's just a cool nickname, and my name is Jordan Michael Anderson. So my middle name's Michael. It's kind of reverse Michael Jordan. So I like to have a little fun with that. But we'll go ahead and we'll get started. We'll introduce our panel for tonight. First off, we have my co-host for tonight, Austin Pez Howell. How's it going?
Slam, da, 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 da. Let the boys be boys. Slam. Oh wait, is that one of the songs? Is that in the opening? No, I just heard it. Actually, I heard it in one of the movies I was watching, but whatever. Yeah, it's basketball movies tonight. If you'll notice, once we bring up the list, I had to stretch a little bit on this one. We don't usually include like straight to DVD stuff or straight to TV stuff, but yeah, when it's just basketball, we were stretching a little bit. So forgive us tonight. We make exceptions here and there. But if you think I stretched this list, wait till you see our winter sports list. Oh boy, did I have to stretch for that one? Nice. We'll get there eventually.
We'll look forward to that one in a few weeks. I think it's coming up in like 2-3 weeks, something like that. But coming up next, we have Jacob Barber with us tonight. How's it going?
It's going. I was saying in our chat, we might be stretching the definition of S tier tonight.
Yeah,
because while some of these movies are truly great, that's just it. There's only a few of them. There's a lot of enjoyable ones.
I think enjoyable. I think there's 4 or 5 legitimate S tiers on here, like a couple of legits. And then after that, we might be stretching to just personal favorites to round out that S tier. We'll see.
Right. Yeah, maybe as far as this list goes, but not as far as
this list, but not like overall. Like when they make it to the sports championship, I don't think they're going to get very far. We'll just put it that way. So
you get to pick one that makes the list. You get to pick one that.
Yeah, everybody gets to pick their personal S tier pick. Yeah, everybody will get 4 of those, and then to round out the regular S tier. We'll see. We'll have fun regardless. But yeah, there's some of these that will make the S tier tonight that when we do our championship like we've been doing and we put the top 10, I don't think any of the lower S tier basketball ones are going to make it very far, but we'll see.
Yeah, but last but certainly not least, we have our resident sports guy who's been joining us for all these sports series episodes. So we have Ross Bristow in the house. How's it going?
Hey guys, now like I've seen some movies on the list. Some of them are not the greatest, but we can all agree they are all better than the baseball list of Ed.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah, most of it isn't it.
If you thought Ed was bad, If you thought Ed was bad, boy, as usual, I watched a lot of the garbage on the list too, and I'll be dumping some in those garbage tiers tonight. But we'll get to those when we get to
but
those.
about the Clippers, though, I do like the Clippers, even though that I'm a Warriors fan. But if the Clippers had never moved, I would have been a Clippers fan because because I'm loyal, to my hometown team. So if they were the San Diego Clippers, which they were, I would have been a loyal. But I can't wait. This is probably going to be the most that I'll say I haven't seen, but I'm excited though still. Because I do enjoy a good basketball movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched about 6 or 7 of these for a first time watch, so it'll be fun to talk about them. So yeah,
and we may stretch our thing about how we usually have to have 3 people that have seen it. We may cut it down to about 2 for this one, maybe, and just if as long as 2 people agree, maybe. And unless somebody's dumping it into the garbage tier, like I'll be doing all night. If you guys haven't seen it, you're okay. You're okay, because I'll just be dumping stuff into the garbage pile that would never make an S tier list. And at that point, we'll make an exception for that too. If you want to dump something into the F tier, like I'll be doing. So we'll roll with that when we get to it.
Those like DNF tiers, you need a couple of those every episode.
Yeah, you always need some of those, which is why I'm here. Wait till we get to winter. Wait till we get to winter sports and a movie I can't believe made it to theaters called MVP Most Valuable Primate. If you thought Ed was bad or Ed looked bad, it's a monkey playing hockey now, and man, I got to watch that movie. I'm really looking forward to that.
It made it to theaters, huh?
It made it to theaters.
Yeah,
that movie existed.
Oh, I know. There's like 3 of them.
Yeah, because one of them has one of the Baldwin brothers in it too.
Oh yeah.
No, that's the Slapshot sequels that were straight to video, which will be on the list for stretching purposes.
Okay, okay, because I get them confused.
No, this one is literally from the trailer. It's Ed with hockey, and I can't wait. I can't wait. I just want to know if much like Air Bud Golden Receiver, I just want to know if somebody checks the monkey into the boards. That's all I'll be watching for.
Yeah. Yeah, and while we kind of go through the first couple matchups on the tier ranker, I'm going to put all the options in the private chat so you guys can see them. But for some reason, if I do it before you guys show up, you guys can't see them for some reason. So I got to do it after the fact. So it'll be there after the second or third pick. It'll show up. So we'll go ahead and we'll just jump into it. So Austin, as the coach, you can kind of break down how it's going to work, and then I'll bring up the tier ranker chart here.
Well, yeah, tier ranker is always a little bit different than tournament fights. This is more of a traditional kind of ranking system. We'll line everybody up on the side here as Jordan brings up the actual tier ranker, and how it works is we've got S for superior right at the top. Anything we think is the best of the best will go into that top bracket, and then it goes like grades in school, A, B, C, D, F. And did he include the not a basketball movie if there's an argument for that? Usually we include the not a movie. So if you think it's not a basketball movie, that tier is on there if you want to make a argument for that. Like I said, we only got 4 people tonight instead of our usual 5 or 6, so we may stretch and see. As long as maybe at least 2 people have seen it, we'll throw it up there, something like that. But yeah, we'll go around. So everybody will get a chance to in order nominate a movie for whatever tier you want to nominate it for, and we'll go around the horn and give everybody a minute or so to kind of to talk about it. And again, we got less people, so we'll probably be able to bust through more movies as usual than we usually do. So we'll just go till around the 2-hour mark or so, and then around that time we'll fire away with the Hail Mary kind of speed round, and I'll explain how that works when we get there. But yeah, we're looking for 10 in the S tier, so we want to try to get a top 10 tonight. So 10 in the S tier, and then 3 honorable mentions out of the A tier is what we'll be putting in the poll over in Schmodown Friends and Family. So yeah, but you can nominate anything for any tier. We've got about 45 movies or so on here.
Yeah, 45,
something like that. 45, yeah. And again, we had to stretch to get to 45 on this one. Theatrical films, there was only about 30 or so. There's not as many as you think, basketball-wise. We kind of tried to stretch the list a little bit. We included a couple of straight-to-video things like that. You'll kind of see when we get there. I'll mention a few of them. But yeah, other than that, we'll kind of just get things rolling here in just a second. And I guess we'll start with Ross down at the bottom. You can pick a movie. I know, he's putting it in the private chat, but if there's one off the top of your head, we'll find it and we'll get it up there.
I'll do a little slow scroll so you can kind of take a look at everything. So it feels like there's a lot more than 40 basketball movies when you think about it, but then when you go to actually build the list.
You go.
Like,
I went to actually put this list together, and there's
yeah.
really not that many. Yeah, there's a lot of documentaries, but not a whole lot of fictional movies. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and some of these, if you have a question, like I realized I forgot to put it in the usual there's like a portrait and a landscape. They went into squares tonight, but we won't worry about it too much. I mean, you can pretty much tell if you have any questions. Like you got uncut cut gems here. You got a couple that are like cut off like that. So if you have a question, just let me know. So, but yeah, Ross, you'll be up first. So
yeah, okay. Now let's go to my favorite basketball movie of all time, and that is The Way Back.
All right. So
okay. With
right
little Ben Affleck. Okay.
Yeah.
It's my this is one of my favorite movies of 2020, and my favorite basketball movie is because the basketball is secondary, but it's just like a well-made movie. Like Gavin O'Connor hits it out of the park again, and then watching it, you can understand why he is such a broken man, and then how the basketball actually does help him get over his stuff. Which I will not spoil, but this is just this movie is a special movie, all the time, and it was the last movie I saw before the pandemic really started. So but still, this movie, I loved it from beginning to end, and then you could tell that's affected because I told my mom on why he's so broken a week before, and she says I'll remember. She did remember it, but she was still weeping. So yeah, that's how you can tell it's affected.
Oh yeah, yeah. And this movie, it did come out kind of near that start of the pandemic kind of time. So yeah. So
I think it was around February or so, kind of right before. Yeah, because I think I missed it in theaters, but I caught it on digital.
March 10th in theaters.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay. So right around that time.
Right before, yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, right before it went crazy.
Well, Jacob, what do you think for The Way Back?
I really enjoyed The Way Back. I thought Ben Affleck was great in this movie. And yeah, just like Ross said, you could really tell why he was broken, and basketball really was helping him, and you could see the connection that he was making with his team. I thought all the basketball segments and scenes in this movie were well done, in my opinion. I've only seen it the one time. I haven't gone back and revisited it. It's because it's so recent. So it's not one that I've put on rewatch yet, but I might. So yeah, for the purposes of this list, well, I think the movie is like a 4 out of 5 personally. I think it's really solid. For the purposes of this list, I will say, yeah, this might be an S tier basketball movie.
Yeah. Sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. On any other, if we were doing kind of sports movies in general, I would probably more put this in the A minus, B plus kind of category. But compared to some of the stuff that we'll be seeing on the list tonight, I think I'll go like a low S tier on this one, just because it's Gavin O'Connor who did Warrior. It's very well made. And Ben Affleck is really great because his character is dealing with an alcohol addiction, which is what he was dealing with kind of in real life. So he's kind of probably channeling a lot of stuff he was dealing with in real time, rehab and everything like that. It's a depressing movie, a little bleak, and it does have some sports cliche kind of stuff in it. But then again, which sports movie doesn't have at least a few cliches in it? That's what sports movies are. They are sometimes going to be riddled with cliche unless you kind of subvert a few things here and there. But for the purposes of this list, while I wouldn't put it probably in like the top 5, I'll throw it in the S tier as well. And I think because it is a cut off a lot of the other ones on this list.
Yeah, for this list too, I would agree. S tier is a good place for it. But I think that this is a movie that I think Ben Affleck kind of was have been wanting to do for a while. It's a movie that he kind of talked about wanting to do. So he finally got to be a part of it, and he kind of stopped doing his role as the Batman. I don't know if it really had anything to do with wanting to do these types of movies or anything, but he stopped doing that and he went straight to doing this. So I think that it was a great movie. Just really a lot of true to life things for Ben Affleck, and yeah, I think that Gavin O'Connor really knocked it out of the park with this one. So yeah, I mean for this list, I'd say S tier, but I kind of agree with you, Austin. Like maybe an A tier, like if we were doing like a normal list. But I think S tier as far as this list goes.
If we were doing like Ben Affleck movies, it'd probably be like in an A tier. You know, like
Yeah.
overall, if we were ranking like his movies, or if this was in some other list for another category for whatever reason, yeah. But for the purposes of this basketball list, sure, we'll pop in the S tier. Like I say, it may end up being in the lower one, something like that. Oh yeah.
We all know that though, like if we were doing a Ben Affleck list, we all know that Reindeer Games would be at the top of S.
Oh yeah, for sure. Reindeer Games. No.
Well, listen, we may end up
I was
doing
gonna go
Ben
Daredevil.
Affleck movies. Yeah, we may end up going that eventually. We'll see. You know, doing a Ben Affleck tier ranker. I'd be down for that at some point.
Yeah. But
All right.
we'll throw it over to Jacob. So you got one you want to talk about?
Yeah, I debated going my favorite, but I want to address one of the comments we had. One of the questions: does basketball count?
Yes.
Heck yeah, it counts. And for me personally, I'm gonna throw that up in S tier because for me, sometimes when I'm watching a movie, I just want to turn my brain off, just watch an entertaining movie, laugh a little bit, and I think basketball does that perfectly. I thought, the whole how they came to invent the game of basketball was pretty fun. Just kind of making up the rules as they go, and then it turns into this big thing. And is it the best movie? No. Is it a fun movie? Absolutely. I love it. I love all the trash talk they do. My brothers and I remember we were probably a little too young to watch this, but we came up with our own version, and we would do the trash talk, and we tried to mess people up when they were shooting the ball, and yeah, it's just fun. So I'm throwing it up in S tier, just because of the sheer amount of fun I have watching this movie.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin, what do you think for baseball?
Fair enough, but this one I'm gonna knock down to A for this one. Like I like it. I think it's fun. But on my rewatch, which I hadn't seen it in ages, when I think I went back to it for our baseball one or something, because I think we were debating on whether or not to put it on the baseball list or the basketball list. Technically, I think according to the Wikipedia and some of the trivia, they're playing basketball more on a baseball field. Like if you break it down, they're trying to play more of basketball than baseball. So we included it on this one instead. Just when I went back to it, I thought it was amusing for about the first 45 minutes to an hour. I think it felt like kind of runs out of steam a little bit. It just didn't like hold my attention as well as I thought it should. I still thought it was fun. It's interesting to see Trey Parker and Matt Stone in front of the camera just acting, which I don't think they've ever really done again. Like it's just weird that they're just not doing voices and writing and stuff, and they're actually here. But there was a lot of good character actors that kind of pop up throughout the movie. It was still fun. I would go more A tier and maybe go for an honorable mention on this one, like for not necessarily top 10.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I almost want to say it's not a basketball movie because technically it's not. Like it's kind of like a weird.
It's a new sport, Jordan. It's not anything.
New sport. Yeah, it's nothing. Like really, I mean, it's basketball. It's its own thing. So
it's one E away from being basketball. Come on.
Yeah, right. But I'll leave it up there. Like I think that it's more basketball than baseball. They just kind of play it like in a baseball stadium. But I mean, like you're doing more basketball stuff. You're shooting like actual baskets, and then you're doing the trash talking. Like I think the movie's a lot of fun too. Like I love this movie, and probably for these purposes for the show, I'd probably give it more of an A. I think, but yeah, I think A is a solid place for me. So, Ross, what do you think?
Ross, have you seen basketball?
It's a solid A movie, only because like I watched it a few years ago and it was funny, but it wasn't that funny. But the thing that saved it for me was actually like Robert Vaughn's dry sense of humor. And that scene that will always make me laugh is when he accidentally burns the Ty Cobb bat. Yeah, so this movie is good, but it's nothing special, I think. It is good. So maybe I'd put it in the low end of A. I still like it though. I still laughed quite a bit, but not as much as I thought I would.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so an S and 3 A's. It'll get knocked down to A, but it may have on this list. It may have a pretty good chance of getting in the honorable mentions, Jacob. It's probably got a good chance of still making that honorable mention.
Just bumped up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say maybe even 3 A's and an S is good enough for top 10 with these movies.
It might be. We might have to bump it up. We'll see.
Yeah.
You never know by the end of this night.
But Austin, you're up next. So do you got one you want to?
All right, so it's time. Actually, my first 4 picks, eventually we get around to me, are all going to be for the trash pile. So in varying degrees. So because this is what I do for tier ranker, I take one for the team. I watch all the trash. I don't know why I have a fetish for bad movies. I have to see how bad they can get. So we'll start with. Okay, there was one that I thought was going to be the worst, and then I watched something that was even worse. So I thought Juana Man was going to be the worst movie I was going to see because I had actually seen it before. So I wanted to rewatch it to make sure. But we'll get to Juana Man next round. I got to talk about Crossover. I got to talk about this movie called Crossover with Anthony Mackie, literally with the Falcon. Yeah. Good God Almighty, is this a bad movie? And this is maybe. We're going to the trash pile. No. This is going in the F tier. No. I'm talking about F tier here. No, this movie is so incompetent and so boring and so poorly written and so poorly acted. It almost defies description. It has some of the worst melodrama you'll ever see in a movie, to where most of the plot developments happen off screen that can then get spoken about in the next scene, to where the definition of show don't tell is evident here, where they just tell, they never show anything. It's just like, oh, this happened off screen, oh, we're moving on to this, moving on to that. There's about 9 different subplots that all get dropped in various degree throughout the movie. When Wayne Brady is your second build star, you're in trouble. I like Wayne Brady, but he's basically a step away from doing his Chappelle Show character in this thing. There's a scene where he's dressed up like he was in the Chappelle Show sketch, and he gets pulled over by a cop, and I think he's gonna step out and break his neck. And that's how close it came. Even the basketball scenes. Improv, but for your movie star, no. Even the basketball scenes, which inexplicably there's only 2 of. There's one in the beginning and one at the end, and that's it. It's supposed to be like the street ball thing. He invented his own league called street ball, which the only difference is we don't call fouls. Okay. That's all, and everybody bets on it. It's crazy because they get all these and one mixtape guys from 2002. And he can't just hold the camera on them and let them do the thing. We have to cut, angle, cut. He can't hold the thing still and just let dudes do what they do. So even the basketball scenes will give you a headache to watch. This movie's horrible. Anthony Mackie can't save it. They jump into a white man can't jump subplot for 2 minutes, and they jump right back out of it. I don't even know what to describe this movie's about, because it's not about anything. I just know it's absolute F tier trash. So Crossover belongs in the garbage pile.
Yeah. Well, I can't say that I've seen it, but on paper,
it's not available on digital. They've scrubbed this movie from the internet. I had to order a DVD for $10 on the internet, a used DVD. Because I own Crossover. It's over in my DVD pile now. Because they've scrubbed this movie from the internet and refused to let you even rent it online. It's ridiculous.
It might be one of those ones you just somehow give away randomly.
Maybe.
But on paper, it sounds like an interesting movie. I mean, Anthony Mackie and even Wesley Jonathan. I used to watch him on, actually, surprisingly enough, a basketball-themed show they used to have, in the later mornings on NBC back in the 90s, called Hang Time. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Hang Time, but he was part of a high school basketball team back then. So I actually do like it. And then he also on that show with Amanda Bynes, What I Like About You too, is the best friend too. So, and then Wayne Brady, he's good on sketch comedy, Who's on It Anyway, that kind of stuff, and he hosts Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah, but he's not funny in this movie. He's playing everything straight. He's playing a villain. Why?
Right.
Why would you get Wayne Brady if he's not going to be funny? It defies description.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Leslie Johnson. Yeah, he was in City Guys. I love that.
Yes.
show.
Oh, yeah, City Guys. That's what it was. City Guys. Yeah.
Yes, I watched City Guys.
Yeah, but yeah. So I haven't seen it, so I can't really say much more than that. So
Lucky.
Ross.
I haven't seen it. I never even heard of it until Austin mentioned it.
It came out in theaters, and boy, did it come and go within about 2 weeks, apparently.
Bombed.
Oh, it bombed. It
It
bombed.
bombed big. Had like a $5 million budget and made seven.
And still,
$7
yeah,
million.
it only made like no, it made less than that. It made like $2 million or something. It was something stupid, but yeah,
Well,
bad.
I'm looking at it. The box office was $7 million. I wonder if that's like counting overseas and stuff. I don't know. But
Oh, I thought the budget
Yeah.
was at least 8, so I think it still bombed.
yeah.
So-
This movie looks cheap, by the way. Like this movie looks like
Yeah.
they spent about $10 on it. Like when you watch it, like it looks like somebody filmed it with their
Really?
phone. Like it looks terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, too, and plus I'm looking it up too. Now, production should not take less than a month.
Yeah, right. It
Yeah,
is
the
like
actual
really
shooting of it,
short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to meet the 2% of critics that liked this movie.
Yeah, right.
I want to meet those 2%, and
Mhm.
and just
You can probably
ask
find them
them
on there
to.
somewhere. If you
Like,
scroll through hundreds and hundreds of reviews and
I
find
bet
No,
it.
yeah, I know you can find them, but I want to meet them and
Right,
just,
right.
have a talk with them and ask them why they even thought this movie was passable, because
Yeah.
There you go.
it's not.
Cool.
Yeah,
This
because
movie.
I gotta look it up to. I bet you that like one of those critics was probably Armand White, probably.
Probably, yeah. He's one of those guys that always will like hype up the bad movies and then trash on the really good ones. Yeah. Yeah,
no,
but-
this movie sucks. Anthony Mackie can't save it. I actually think this is like he tries, but he doesn't try too hard.
Yeah. So, are you saying F tier, Jacob?
If there was
Yeah,
a tier
this movie
lower
sucks.
than F,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
there was
This
a tier
movie
lower
sucks.
than F, I would put it
This
there.
movie sucks. Yeah.
Well, the people that have seen it to count it for F, so we'll throw it in the F tier.
This is like 9 and 73 Sixers bad,
Yeah.
or Bobcats, whoever it was.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Bobcats. Woo. Yeah, that was a stinker. But since we only have 4 people tonight, I called in a friend to come jump in and be our 5th. So we have Richie.
He's on everything.
He's on
Hello,
everything.
Richie.
So, like, he's always good in the bench. So,
I thought it's been too long since you've seen me. So.
Yeah, it's only been like a week, so it's been way too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah,
right.
But I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. This fucking guy. He's on everything.
Yeah. Well, before we move on to my pick, have you ever seen the movie Crossover, like the cinematic masterpiece Crossover? Have you seen it?
I've heard of it. Haven't
With the Falcon himself, Anthony Mackie, who somehow escaped this movie unscathed. Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie you think it is better than the movie it actually is.
Yeah, like you look at the posters and the trailer and you're like, oh, okay, it'll be this cool like street ball, like, kind of maybe like an and one mixtape, mixed into a fictional movie. And no, it's just it's bad. It's like, no, we're gonna watch Anthony Mackie like pay his mom's light bill instead. Like that's more fun.
Yeah. With
I'm not joking. Yeah.
like almost no actual basketball. You said 2 scenes, right?
Dude, it's like the beginning and the end, and like in the middle, there's he does a commercial. If you remember that Nike commercial, that was like the and one like Nike commercial that they parody in Scary Movie 2. When it's all the different guys just doing like the things, like he does a commercial like that, and then he gets pissed off because they tell him afterwards, after he's already filmed it, that like there's another guy that's good that he was just doubling for, that he was just doing all the moves for, and he's not going to be the star of the commercial, and he gets pissed off and like trashes the trailer. It's like all he does.
Yeah.
You know what the poster looks like to me too? Like a poster for that movie called You Got Served, which is a better movie.
Oh,
than
yeah.
this.
Oh yeah, no, You Got Served is a better movie. Because at least
Yeah.
like that movie's actually about dancing, like, and there's a lot of dancing in it. No, this movie, like, it's like supposed to be about basketball, but it's not about basketball.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
It's hovering that line right there.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Speaking of horrible trash dumpster fires, I'm gonna bring up one too here. Let's see. I'm going with the one that you almost picked, but I'm gonna go with Juana Man because this is a movie that
Yeah,
I
let's talk about
absolutely
Joanna, man. That's the other F tier shitty movie.
yeah, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. But I just wanted to get it out of the way, just throw it right in the dumpster
I
Mhm.
forgot about
because this movie is just
Yeah.
it's horrible. Like, it's a movie where we've only heard of like two people in the entire cast, and they're people that like I don't really care for as actors. Well, maybe three. I mean, they're very very small. Uh, like B-list actors. You got Vivica A. Fox. You got Tommy Davidson. You got Kevin Pollak. Like no one I really give a shit about. Like it's just yeah. And the movie just I mean like just bad. Like you're watching it and you're like, is this even a movie? It almost seems like a parody movie. It's just like I mean, and there's very little basketball again in a movie like this too. So it's just kind of just like it was a very forgettable movie too. Like it's been so long ago I like probably have forgotten most of it, but I wanted to get it out of the way because I do remember how I felt afterwards. Like I need to go take a shower or something. Like it was just bad. So I'm gonna throw it in the F tier. But we'll see if anyone else has even seen this movie. I know.
Oh, come on. You know I
Austin
watched it. If
likes
it's
to watch a lot
horrible,
of
you
bad
know I
movies.
saw it.
Yeah,
I've
right.
I've seen
But
it.
Yeah.
but we'll throw
Yeah,
it around to
I've seen
Richie.
I've seen it.
Richie,
Yeah,
have
You
you
seen
seen
it?
this?
And what do you
I have
think?
seen, I have seen this movie. Yeah, it's like it's like, oh, what if we crossed basketball with Mrs. Doubtfire? Wouldn't that be something?
Or
Wouldn't that
just
be
one
great?
of the guys? Some shit like that.
Just one of the
Yeah.
guys. It's like, oh, how cool!
Just one of
It's
the
like,
guys.
it's like, just it was just did not doesn't work on any level. I feel bad for everybody involved actually. So definitely books in it.
Yeah. Well, Ross, what do you think? See if
This
anyone thinks
movie's a
it's better
bag
than
of
that.
dicks. This movie's a bag of dicks. I put in the F,
Yeah.
and then I remember when I checked out was during the championship game is when the reveal happens. He's going in for the shot, and then when he makes the shot, his wig falls off, and everyone's all mad at him. I'm thinking, why would you care? He's helping your team win.
Yeah, right.
Spoilers.
All right.
You're not missing
Well-
anything.
No, spoilers for like a 90s movie that didn't come out in the 90s, I think.
2002. It came out the year. No, this movie came out the year I worked at a movie theater where I saw everything that came out in the movie theater because I saw it for free. So I watched this movie in the theater, and I was the only one in the theater, even watching it for free on opening day. That's how bad this movie was. Like nobody was even there opening day. So yeah, that's how bad it was.
That's funny. But
Jacob?
what do you think, Jacob?
This movie happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right where it needs to be. If there was a tier lower than F, that might be where.
Mm.
I mean, this one at least is 8% higher than crossover was. But
Yeah.
what
On
10%?
paper,
What 10% of people enjoy this movie?
yeah, on paper,
You are liars.
Yeah.
Crossover looks like the movie I'd rather see, but I guess not. I guess it's worse than Juana Man. So
I'll say this. I'll say this to move on real quick. I would flip flop them in the S tier, and I'll tell you why. Joanna Man slightly edges out crossover for one reason, in that Tommy Davidson in Joanna Man legitimately is kind of funny. Like he does a character called like Puff Smoky Smoke. Like it's so absurd that it's kind of funny. Like he's just got like ridiculous gold teeth, and like he's the one hitting on Miguel Nunez, like while he's pretending to be a woman or whatever, and he's legitimately like he's trying hard enough that it is kind of funny, but he's like the only redeeming quality in the movie. Not enough to bump it into another tier, mind you. It's still garbage, but like he's the one thing that's like that kind of works. But yeah, like the movie itself is nonsense. He's like, I mean, how does anybody not recognize him? He's just wearing a wig. Like he's not wearing a wig, and glasses, and other stuff. Like it's the same dude. Like how does nobody recognize? And also like at the beginning of the movie, he's one of the most famous basketball stars on the planet. He's like a Dennis Rodman type guy where he does all this outrageous shit. So like everybody would know who he is. And then all of a sudden, this person who looks exactly like him, who's just wearing long hair, shows up in the WNBA. Like even Kevin Pollak, who's like his manager, doesn't recognize him at first. Like it's absurd, it's nonsensical, it's not believable, and it's not the only Miguel Nunez Jr. movie that I'm going to throw on a lower tier on this list, as we'll see in a minute. because inexplicably, a lot of basketball movie stars, for whatever reason, do multiple basketball movies. So yeah, we'll talk about that in a little while. But Miguel
Except for
Nunez,
the
the
good
star of this
ones.
movie, is a side character in another bad movie. That
Well,
Yeah, but like Tommy Davidson though now like is always great. I remember like
Yeah, like, he's always good.
I used to love him on the Proud Family.
yeah, he's
Yeah, or like
he's the one.
or in
He's the
Living
one
Color.
funny part in the movie. The one funny
Yeah.
part of Joanna Man is like the couple of scenes he pops up in is the only funny thing. That's it.
This movie has the weirdest people that'll show up. It's got a couple of like low-key NBA stars like Muggsy Bogues and Vlade Divac and Dikembe Mutombo, I guess, like show up, and then you have Jay Leno for some reason that shows up at some point, I guess. And then you also have let's see, where is it? We have Kim Wayans, which I guess is the long lost Wayans sister that like never shows up in much, but she's in this, I guess. So yeah.
Well,
Kinda
to be
interesting.
fair, though,
Is
the
she-
Waynes though, the Waynes mother though, she had 10 kids, so probably a lot of them are long lost.
Yeah, right.
She shut
Makes
up in this. She shut up in this because all the other ways to actually turn this movie down. It's like,
Actually,
yeah,
right.
They read the script.
Yeah.
All the other
Well-
Wayans were busy to doing like scary movies, and she had to go do Joanna Man like around the same time. And it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, this is the only one that's like laying around.
Yep.
All right, Richie, you want to talk about a movie?
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah,
about something you've seen?
Have
And also, I'm gonna let
Oh,
you
sorry.
know, just real quick, that for some reason they ended up all in squares instead of showing the full posters. They might be a little cut off, so I posted all the movies in the private chat if you need to take a look at them. But you can just pick whatever
Have
you
you put
want.
anything in the
Basically,
ST?
yeah,
we
we got the only one we got so far. We've
Way
only
Back.
been on one round, so we put the way back
yeah.
with Ben Affleck up there.
We got
Well,
Basil
and again, we might and there's a couple of really good ones that will deserve S tier. We might have to stretch for a few other ones. We already said that at the beginning of the show because this list is not overall
Yeah,
the
it's
greatest
not-
list we've ever
I
dealt
thought
with. So
basketball would be one of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Okay. I will. I'll put something that's. I won't put it S tier, but like I guess I'll put it higher because there's not much I got to choose from. I'll put in B. I will pick Space Jam.
Yeah.
Like this movie is cool.
That's-
Obviously, this
there you
movie is it's corny as shit. Like people got like nostalgia for it. It was my like favorite when it came out. You combine my two favorite things. Michael Jordan and like Looney Tunes, and then like it is entertaining. Obviously, Michael Jordan is pretty bad in this, but you can expect anything sort of less.
Yeah.
I do think maybe people sort of view Space Jam with like a bit nostalgia, thinking, look, Space Jam New Legacy is just gonna, it's not gonna be as good as the first one. Like, the first one's fun. It's still I great entertainment out of it, but don't be mistaken and think it's a fantastic this great movie. It's not. So it's a fun. I put it at B because it's a fun, entertaining movie. But yeah, there's enough enjoyment here. I did watch it sort of go back and watch it semi recently. It doesn't hold up as much, but I still get some enjoyment out of it. And so Space Jam.
Hey,
Yeah.
quick idea. Should we just go ahead and go around the horn and rank both of them, this and the sequel, just to get them out of the way?
Yeah,
Sure, we could do that.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
don't
we
everybody just think what their rankings are for both of them? So we'll get
Yeah.
the Space Jam 2 up there as well, and we'll just rank both. It's over in the bottom left.
Yeah.
The jumbled one that doesn't even look like you can
Right.
read Space Jam on it. Look at that
Yeah, I
mess
was
of a
gonna see
poster.
we
Jesus
want to put it
Christ.
before I drag it anywhere. But what do you think, Richie, for the like?
Did you see the sequel?
Sequel. I don't think it's as
Yeah.
bad as everyone.
Me neither.
People trashed it. I would say C, but I could argue B as well. But I'll say C.
Yeah,
Mm.
let's see. Throw it up to C to start, but we'll get everyone's thoughts on both of them. So,
Mhm.
Ross, what do you think of the two
Ross.
Space Jam movies?
I think that Space Jam 1 is a C and Space Jam 2 is a B, only because like I think that the second one actually like does a lot more and then actually like has more of a storyline. While the first one is okay, I watched it recently and then I laughed maybe once or twice. And then the second one though, you have a batshit crazy Don Cheadle, and then anytime that you have Elmer Fudd as Mini Me is like automatically a win in my book. So yeah, so the first one is C, second one a B.
Yeah, sounds good. Jacob, what do you think?
You know, these are my nostalgia goggles. I'm gonna put my nostalgia goggles on for Space Jam and give it an S.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
strictly,
There we
I'm giving it an S. It's childhood. You know, it's not the greatest movie, but when you turn it on, you can go back to your childhood and you can just have a good time with it. As far as the new one, I'm okay leaving it in C. I'd personally give it a D, based on my first watch. But the more I think about it, like the basketball scenes were fun, and the stuff with the Looney Tunes was good. um, I, I I thought it would be okay because like LeBron James was really good in Trainwreck. I thought he was solid,
go.
and so going off of that, I thought he would be better in this movie. And unfortunately, just in my opinion, I don't think he was. But I'm okay leaving it at C. I think C is a good place for um, the new one. But as far as the original, I'm going S tier, and it's strictly based on nostalgia.
Sure, yeah. Sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
I'm a little similar to Jacob in that I would think because of this list, I would almost go the original Space Jam S tier kids film, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I think it's an
Yeah.
S tier kids movie because it is entertaining as all hell for children. Adults can still watch it and not poke their eyeballs out. Like you could still get some enjoyment out of it, whether it's enjoying how bad Michael Jordan is in the movie acting wise, or legit enjoying the fact that I actually do like the stuff with the NBA players, like at the hospital, like doing all the tests and like talking to the therapist and things like that, like spilling their guts to Basketball Jones. Like all that stuff is pretty great, actually. Even the stuff where Charles Barkley's like trying to play basketball with the kids and they're just like, get out of here, you want to be look-alike, fuck, like get out of here.
He was
like
the
all that
best
stuff's like
choice
pretty
for
good.
that.
Yeah, like
he
he was great. Like I think a lot of that stuff is actually like pretty good. Like that stuff's better than the Michael Jordan stuff. Like I think Barkley's better than Jordan in that movie. They almost should have switched roles. So I again, I'm putting an asterisk on it, but I'm going to say S tier asterisk as a kids movie. As far as Space Jam 2, I'm in the same boat that I don't think it's as bad as people made it out to be. I don't think it was that much worse than the original one. I thought the actual basketball scene at the end is pretty fun with all like power ups and him doing the boosts and like it's kind of a video game. Like I actually had a good time with it, and my audience seemed to have a good time with it when I saw it in the theater. I saw it in the theater with a crowd, and the crowd seemed to have a good okay time with it. So I would still put the second one in either a B or a C, probably leaning more towards C. I think it's kind of fine for it, but I would go S only because, again, of it's a good kids movie, like as Space Jam is. So I'll go with that.
Yeah, and then the Pulp Fiction reference in the first one made me laugh though.
Well, it's not for children, but yeah, but that's again, you can watch it as an adult and shit like that. Like the kids aren't going to get that, but like that's the stuff for the adults. Yeah, that's what I mean. Though.
Oh yeah, too. Like speaking, like wasn't Muggsy in this movie too in Space Jam?
Yeah.
No.
He's in this movie, and then he was in Joanna Man, I think.
So he was in one movie at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, like I'd say S tier all the way for Space Jam. Like Space Jam just hit me at the right time, where I was a huge basketball fan. I was actually a Looney Tunes fan. Like I was just like a big like Michael Jordan fan, and then seeing people like Bill Murray show up. I mean, and like Danny DeVito, even Wayne Knight. I mean, they don't give them a lot to do, but it's still fun. And then you even have like Larry Bird showing up. Like you have a lot of like solid players. You even have, I got to give a shout out to Sean Bradley, since I grew up Mormon. He's a Mormon basketball player, so shout out that one. But yeah, so like actually have a lot of fun with it. And like even though like I do understand the argument, the second movie it kind of has more of a cohesive storyline than the first one. I just like the first one so much better. Like for whatever reason, like it just works. The way they utilized the Looney Tunes was a lot better too. Like I would love they'll like spit shine and they're like cleaning up the court. They're doing all that stuff, and then like with like even having like we're having like Michael Jordan actually be a live action character all the way through, and you don't make him an animated character, because like I didn't really like that they made LeBron James an animated character and stuff. And so for the original one, I'd give it S tier for sure. And then for for the second one, like I didn't really like it. Like it just didn't really hit like that. Like I like more of the animated stuff way more than any of the human stuff. I hated the human stuff. I thought that the human stuff, like all of it, was just atrocious. It was like really bad for me. But the Looney Tunes stuff was a lot of fun though. Anything that they did with the animated stuff. So I think that I got to give the sequel, like as far as my anticipation level and what I actually got, like a D. I think like it was bad. I just didn't really like it that much. So
Yeah.
But,
I'll tell you one thing I like that they at least acknowledged in the sequel is when he's like, oh, you could put together your team from any of these universes, that they get it out of the way, and he goes, oh, I'll just get the Justice League, which is a WB property.
Yeah,
like, I want to
Justice
get the Justice League to be on my team because, like, I'll get Superman and the Flash and Batman, and he's like, oh, and I'll also get King Kong. And then they're like, oh, you, for whatever reason, you should have the Looney Tunes instead, which that didn't really make any sense in the movie, like how they convinced him to use the Looney Tunes instead. Like, no, you should use the Justice League. That's a good idea. Like, use superheroes.
The Green Lantern.
And
Yeah.
like, I think that like HBO Max actually censored the original one is because like I remember like when like Michael Jordan's making the final shot, I believe I Can Fly is playing, but it's not playing anymore.
Oh yeah.
No, it was in the opening scene. It's still in there though. You can't censor the soundtrack.
No,
but anyways, so we had
the original also too. I just want to shout out real quick to the music too. Like even though they're not really any big name guys. I mean, even R. Kelly's kind of a pariah now, but like even Quad City DJs like that like everybody get up, it's time to slam. And like as a kid, that really got me pumped up and excited.
That Monstars song, if I hit him high, hit him high, hit him high, and you hit him. That's a great song. That song is great. And like I said, Basketball Jones is a great little like nice little like, rhythm like our R&B song too. Like soundtrack is good.
Michael Rock too for being like a part of Basketball Jones too.
First soundtrack I got from a movie is Space Jam. I gotta say, every song's a banger in them.
Yeah,
it's
good.
But yeah, like Michael B. Jordan's cameo in Space Jam 2 was hilarious.
Spoiler.
It's funny, yeah. But as far as the music goes, though, like for the sequel, it was a big letdown. Like I was hoping that like they at least try and like
there wasn't really anything in there.
DJs back or something like that. I thought that would have been awesome, but they didn't. So yeah. But where we at?
Well, okay. So the original Space Jam has got 3 S's and then like a B and a C. So it might scoot into the S tier, like maybe at the bottom or like high A. You know, it might have enough. 3 out of 5 is kind of enough to scoot it into for the bottom of this list. But yeah, I think Space Jam is going to sit in the C tier right there. So I think it's fair enough because I don't think it's as bad as everybody says it is. It's certainly I'd rather watch Space Jam 2 than Juwanna Manor Crossover. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like way more.
That's why I said C, because like based on this list, like I might even for basketball movies, I might even say, no, it is a B actually.
Maybe.
Yeah, but we'll throw it back over to Ross. You're up again, so what do you want to pick?
Okay,
what we got?
I'm gonna pick Airbud.
All right.
I rewatched Airbud yesterday.
based on my nostalgia glasses, and then and then like Michael Jeter, and then like like in this list, I'm gonna put in the A. It's nothing great, but Michael Jeter as the deranged drunk clown is hilarious.
Sure.
No, but
He's
this
pretty
movie
fucking good in it, actually.
is actually like way better than it like deserves any right to be. It's way better than the sequels. Michael Jeter saved the movie for me. But yeah, it's not great, but it is entertaining still.
Yeah, sounds good. Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, if I put my nostalgia goggles on for Space Jam, I feel like it's only fair to do it for Airbud too. Just to give it a fair shake as well. I think A is perfect for this movie. Again, as a kids movie, I'll take Austin's logic for Space Jam and apply it here. I think it makes sense. Like you can show this movie to kids and they're gonna love it. They are going to love it. A dog playing basketball, what kid wouldn't love it? Unless
Yeah.
you're scared of dogs. Have I watched it since I was a kid? No. Do I remember loving it as a kid? Yes.
Yeah. Well, so you're saying A? Is that what you're
I'm saying A, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so
Austin?
I rewatched this movie yesterday, so it's very fresh in my head. And again, and because I was just like, all right, either this movie's gonna hold up or it's gonna be absolute dog shit, and I'm gonna really have the nostalgia class. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in B tier, and let me explain why. So I think as a kids movie, it's okay. Here's why I think it's only okay, because it doesn't have as much of him. When I watched it, it had way less of him on the team as a basketball player than I remembered. He's only on the team playing basketball in the games for like the last 5 minutes of the movie, and the rest of it is him like practicing with the kid and doing like the halftime show, and then like the last basketball scene of the movie, he comes in like halfway through, and they put him on the team, and that's when you get the famous trailer line where the referee's like, "Well, there ain't no rule saying the dog can't play basketball." And he's like, which is what he says. And look, the cast is okay. Like you said, Michael Jeter as the drunk clown, like, is actually like, he's deranged, but like he's entertaining like every minute he's on screen. Rest in peace. I think he died like about 10 years ago or something like that. But yeah, he's always good when he shows up. Something like that. It was a while back, but anyways, Bill Cobbs, who shows up in a lot of movies, who was also in Ed, coincidentally, along with Jack Warden. He's always in these like bad movies, but he's better than the material because he's like a good actor. And he's okay as like the coach who comes in about halfway through the movie. Look, I'll say at least the stuff is real. Like the dog is really doing like the stuff where he's hitting the thing into the basket. Like it's impressive. You know what I mean? Like it's real. It's not some CGI shit because it's like 1997. Nowadays it'd just be all like the dog flying around CGI wise, like dunking the ball, and it'd be some bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Like at least it's real, like a real people and a real dog doing all this stuff. But the actual movie itself gets kind of boring halfway through because the dog isn't actually playing basketball for a long time. Like I said, he's just doing the halftime show. It's a lot of kids just playing basketball, which I'm not interested in, which is not great. And it's a lot of him like giving the dog a bath and shit, which is like, I mean, it's fine for kids, but that's some like Beethoven bullshit. So, like it's all right. I'll put it in the B tier. Like it was okay. It was still mildly entertaining, but I don't think it's as entertaining as Space Jam.
Yeah. Well, if I'm being honest, I actually haven't seen Bud. I haven't seen any of the Air Bud movies, just because like the thought of it just like almost kind of scares me, like in a little bit of a way, because it's like how bad are these movies going to be, and like just by like seeing the trailers, even as a kid, it looked like some that like should have been on like America's Funniest Home Videos. Oh, there's a dog playing basketball. How wacky or whatever, It's just like one of those things that just sounds horrible. So I never have built up the courage to sit down and watch this thing.
They definitely worked backwards, where they said, "Hey, we got this dog that can play basketball. Let's write a movie around that." And they started from the ending and worked backwards, which is never what you want to do to make a good movie.
Yeah,
but like it's a serviceable movie, and I will say I hate dogs like being abused and shit, and there's a lot of that stuff in the first 15 minutes which depressed me, because it's like Michael Jeter like beating him with a newspaper, and then like when the kid finds him, he's got like the torn rags of clown stuff that he's wearing, he's all dirty. Like I hate that shit in movies. That shit makes me sad. I don't like that. Like that shit makes me uncomfortable because I'm a dog person.
Yeah, too.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, too, Jordan, though, like about how you said like America's Funniest Home Videos. Funny connection. The actor that played the dog is the same dog that played Comet on Full House with Bob Saget.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I thought you were gonna say funny connection. Bob Saget died.
No. Whoa. Too soon. Come on.
Hey, Bob would have been fine with it, to be fair.
He would have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so
he would have made the joke.
Commented on it, so
yeah, he would have made that joke himself. Yeah. Anyways, Richie, have you seen Air Bud?
Yes, I have.
People in the chat too soon.
I watched it. I watched it when it came out. I was just thinking, I guess I'll have to apply nostalgia goggles again and look at it as a kid's movie. I remember liking it. And then I remember thinking even back then, I'm like, if this movie does well, they're just gonna have him. They're gonna have a dog.
Him doing every sport. Oh, they do.
They do.
Yeah. So I remember thinking that then. I'm like, I'm still waiting for Air Bud MMA. That'd be interesting.
Oh, hey, there's a movie that's close. I put it on the combat list. I've seen it. Richie, there is a wrestling movie with a dog. It's called Wrestle Madness. If you want to watch it.
Yeah, John Morrison. Yeah.
Yes, John Morrison is in it. He's like the final boss that this little dog has a wrestling match with. So we almost had an MMA one. There's a pro wrestling movie with the dog. We'll get to Wrestle Madness. We'll get to Wrestle Madness.
I want to see that movie.
Somehow, though,
I've seen it.
Air Bud spin-offs are actually worse than the sequels.
Yeah.
Like Space Buddy and stuff.
Yeah, for like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Cinematic masterpieces, you guys. You don't know what you're talking about.
So I have to apply nostalgia, and I remember enjoying it. I remember thinking, this is kind of great. Yeah, obviously it's fun. I wouldn't go as far as A. I think that even with the sort of that ruling we have, I would probably agree with Austin, say B. So
Yeah.
B for Bud.
Some reason I just imagine like some kind of wacky music playing for a movie like this, like the Yakety Sax. There you go. There it is. You need to play this for this movie, like for real.
They don't quite go
Don't
that
play
far,
too
but-
much; you'll get copyright.
Yeah,
right.
but yeah, like I just picture like wackiness with the dog. Here we go. But
they really don't though. They have like more of just a score. I think it's somebody decent that does the score, like somebody that does a lot of them. I'll have to look it up, but we'll move on while I look it up. But yeah, it's more just like a classical like score. I don't know.
Well, but where's the final ranking?
2 A's and 2 B's.
All right, so I mean, it could be at the bottom of the A, I guess. So we'll leave it there for now, I guess.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. But all right, we're back to Jacob. So what do you want to talk about?
Let's see. I think it's time. It's my favorite basketball movie.
We got to get some good shit now. We talked a lot about a bad shit. We got to get some good shit.
We're gonna go Coach Carter. Coach Carter is
Yeah.
definitely S
Yeah,
tier.
that's good.
Coach,
Yeah.
it's S tier. It's one of my favorite movies. Period. I love this movie. I've seen it so many
Samuel
times.
Jackson calling. He's on the phone.
I think Samuel. I think this is one of Samuel L. Jackson's most underrated performances. I don't think it gets talked about enough. Because obviously he's got the whole Nick Fury thing, and people talk about that a lot. And he's got Pulp Fiction, and he was big in the 90s, and then now. But I think this one is great, and the basketball scenes in this movie are amazing. Like you want to see good basketball scenes. Check this movie out. But it's more than that. It's about a coach who wants to make a difference, and he uses basketball as a tool for that. Like, if you want to play on this team, this is what you need to do, because I want you to go to college, because I believe you can go to college. I like kind of the subplot with his son, how that gets involved, and he just wants to play for his dad. I think the story is inspirational, and I love that they didn't win at the end.
Yeah, right.
Like it would have been so easy. Spoiler alert: they don't win at the end. It would have been so easy for them to just write that in. And they didn't, and I think that's really good. Like, you can try your hardest, but sometimes you don't succeed. But as long as you try your best, especially in high school, like as a pro, you want to try your best and win, and there's no excuse. You're a pro, win. But at the high school level, to turn around their season like that, it was amazing. You got good performances from Channing Tatum, and I can't remember the actor's name, but he plays Worm in One Tree Hill. He was great in this movie. Timo Cruz is a great character. I love the speech he gives. I could gush about this movie for hours, but I'll just say S tier, and it would probably be really high S tier for me.
Yeah, sounds good, Austin.
Coach Carter is S tier, but let me real quick. Bram Wenger, who did the score for Air Bud, went on to he's done like 40 movies. Namely pretty much every Air Bud spinoff there's ever been. So there you go. He just went on to do Air Bud movies.
There's
He's
30
done,
movies.
he did most valuable. He did the MVP Most Valuable Primate that I'm going to watch for that thing, so I'm looking forward to that. He did the score for Russell Madness. Speaking of Russell Madness, so he just pretty much does any of these animals playing sports movies.
Woo.
Man, this guy's killing it. Santa Paws, the Space Buddies, all that shit. He does all of it. So man, this guy's working. Damn.
He's a go-to
So-
for these animal sports movies.
Yeah, the animal sports movie. Shit. Anyways, yeah, Coach Carter's really good. It should be in the S tier. Sam Jackson's good, and it's a little too long. I will say it's 15 minutes too long. This movie doesn't need to be 2 hours and 17 fucking minutes. But yeah, other than
I
that,
feel like you could cut the pool scene out, maybe like that.
yeah, you could cut a couple of things here and there.
Yeah.
I think this movie's a little too long for what it is. I don't think most sports movies should be above 2 hours. But I'm a stick. Like I'm not again. I'm not a hater of long movies, but it needs to justify it. Most sports movies shouldn't be above 2 hours. But yeah, other than that, I think definitely for this purpose, it's one of the more quality movies. Yeah, you need some Sam Jackson in that S tier for sure.
Unless it's Cool Runnings, I could watch those guys run around in the snow, that aren't used to being in the snow for like 10 hours. Like, like some reason that just cracks me up. That's just me, but yeah. But for Coach Carter, yeah, I'd agree. That's an S tier though. Like I love me some Coach Carter. Like it's a great performance from Samuel L. Jackson, and then you have Channing Tatum, of course, and like one of the earliest roles I remember him in. And then also the guy that plays Timo. Rick Gonzalez. He was in one of my favorite underrated TV shows called Reaper. Like he's really good in that too. So, and then also the one that plays his son too. Like he's a solid actor too. Plays like Damian Carter in it, and yeah, there's a lot of solid performances, and like just the way that he inspires them. Like my favorite scene when he locks the door to the gym, so they can't even have a game, so they have to end up forfeiting a game. Like, and so yeah, like it's some pretty fun and inspirational stuff. So yeah, and it's really well shot, really well edited. All the basketball scenes are great. So yeah, I'll say S tier. Richie?
Yeah, this is one I was thinking about bringing it up when I went up before I brought up Space Jam. I would have put this in S tier for sure. It's one of my favorite basketball movies. Yeah, very inspirational movie. But also Jacob, the guy thing about the plays Worm is Antoine Tanner, I believe his name.
That's right. Yeah.
But
it was just escaping me.
yeah. But yeah, this movie's great. Great for and yeah, I feel like more people. I know it's got praise, but I just feel like people don't like talk about it in the upper echelon of basketball movies, and they should. But yeah, so yeah, definitely S tier. Yeah, and high S tier at that. So yeah.
That sounds good. Ross, what do you think?
S tier. I love this movie. And I agree with Austin. This movie is a little bit too long, but I can understand why it was. But still, I love this movie. And plus, it was one of the first times where I went, "Holy crap! A January movie can actually be good."
Yeah, right. You kind of forget that it was released in January. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds like it's unanimous. S tier it is. So for Coach Carter. So all right. And if it's unanimous, I'm just gonna throw it. Yeah, just throw it right at the top. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, just you wait. Just you wait.
We'll debate about the rest later.
I don't think it's gonna stay there. But I'm just glad it's there for now.
It ain't gonna stay there for long. You got about 10 seconds, Jacob, before it's gonna get usurped by something that I'm about to mention.
I think I know.
Are you gonna bring up a good movie?
Austin, so
Because listen,
what are you gonna go for?
you may love Coach Carter, but goddamn it, do I love White Men Can't Jump? It's a fucking great movie.
Oh, yeah.
And White Men Can't Jump
Yeah.
is to me is number one with a bullet. I think it's the best basketball movie that's ever been made. Because look, not only is it have legitimately fun basketball, like fun street ball and like crossover, actually fun hustling, street ball. It's got great characters who are actually funny, who have awesome chemistry. The chemistry between Woody and Wesley is top notch here. A lot of great side characters. Kadeem Hardison, who we may or may not talk about a little later, is great as like Wesley's little side buddy. We going Sizzler, we going Sizzler. All that shit. Like he's great.
What happened? You said we were going to the Sizzler.
Yeah, he says, "Go scissors, man." No, like all that shit is great. Like the way they pull off the scams, with Woody just playing this dopey, nerdy like white guy, and then just schooling everybody is a lot of fun. Especially when they rip off the guy, and then the guy's like, "I'm gonna go get my other gun and shoot everybody." Like he comes back, they all just bolt, for the train and shit. Like all that stuff is great. Like I just think. Every scene of this movie just kicks. Like Rosie Perez is a lot of fun, as like Woody's girlfriend. It's just really, really well written. All the basketball is excellent. Like to me, this is the number one. Like I know there's another movie that kind of on this list that'll probably fight for it, but other than Coach Carter. But to me, this is my favorite basketball movie of all time. I just think this movie's super damn entertaining. So White Man Can't Jump for me is number one. S tier.
Oh yeah, this is S tier, no question. Yeah, this movie's great. It's been a long time since I've actually seen it because when I was studying for this, I wanted to give some other movies a rewatch that I haven't seen because there are so many other ones. But if I want to remember though, this movie's just so much fun and just kind of seeing like Woody Harrelson's character just kind of one step ahead of the mob kind of thing, like yeah, that kind of thing. Involved a little bit. Then like Rosie Perez kind of like she gets annoying, but like it kind of plays into it in a fun way though. Like and she was watching Jeopardy, all that stuff. Like it's a good time. So yeah, I will give White Man Can't Jump at S tier for sure. Yeah. So. Richie?
I knew sort of Will Austin was going as he said.
Damn right.
Because I would have, if it came back around to me and it hadn't been picked, I would have picked. The chemistry between Leslie Snipes and Woody Harrelson is amazing. It's so good. They are. I think they are remaking this movie, which gives me a bit of pause.
What is it going to be like? Fucking Kevin Hart and somebody? Like, get the fuck out of here! Like,
Kevin Hart and The Rock.
Shit.
Yeah, right.
Jesus Christ! Stop! Stop! Fuck me. Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna look it up right now and see. But, anyways.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they are definitely remaking it, unfortunately. But yeah, I love this movie. There's not much argument against it yet. It's definitely an S tier, high S tier at that. So yeah.
We just make a sequel. Like you could still do a sequel. I mean, they're older, but still, I mean, they're still like with movie magic. You can make it happen. but Ross, what do you think?
This will surprise you guys. I've never seen this.
Whoa.
Okay.
I'm jealous.
But I do want to. I've actually like tried to watch it, and then I know like always get busy with something else. But I will watch it, this week because you guys haven't convinced me to see it. And like after reading the trivia too about it, it was apparently one of Stanley Kubrick's favorite movies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but everyone tells me how much I'd love this movie. So yeah, I'm gonna watch it, but I have not seen it.
Yeah. Well, Jacob, what do you think?
Part of me wants to say A tier because I want Coach Carter to stay number one. But
damn it, dude! Do not do that shit. You can't give. You can't say White Man Can't Jump in S tier.
I can't in good conscience do that. So I'm not. Here's why I'm okay with it being above Coach Carter, because it is a damn good movie. It's more basketball centric than Coach Carter is. Coach Carter uses basketball as a tool for the kids to do better in school. White Men Can't Jump is like the definition of a basketball movie. I don't think you go more than 15 minutes without a basketball scene.
I don't know about 10 minutes. I think it's pretty constant basketball.
Like,
the only time you don't get basketball in the scene is when he's back at like his various hotels running away with Rosie Perez, studying for Jeopardy. Like anything else, it's basketball.
That I might even go as far as to say the opening 20 minutes of this movie is like the best opening 20 minutes I've seen in the movie. Like it's top 5 for me. Like the opening scene, that basketball scene, the back and forth between Wesley and Woody, like the trash talk, just everything, the sizzler, like that. It's just it's funny. You really feel for Woody too. Like I wanted to see him and Rosie get back together. Come on. I like that they didn't. I like that it would have been easy to just write that in. But they didn't go with that cliche of they end up together. But yeah, no, like this is the definition of a basketball movie. Like this is the definite S tier, and I wouldn't be surprised if it stayed where it is the rest of the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A quick update. The most recent update on the remake is they have a director but no stars. The director is Calmatic. This guy, one name. He's a music video guy. He directed the Old Town Road video. And he just got done directing the House Party remake that's coming out that I didn't know was coming out. There's a House Party remake. Fuck me. And now I guess it must be so good that and I guess it's so good that he's now going to direct the White Man Can't Jump remake. So
I know who they'll get.
He's going to direct iconic 90s movies with black actors, isn't it?
90s black movies. He's going to just do he's going to do Friday next. After that, and then he'll do then he'll do Menace to Society, and then he'll do Boys in the Hood. He'll just do remakes.
Watch them cast Zac Efron for Woody Harrelson's character just because of High School Musical.
God.
And 17 again, which is on the list.
He's actually a really good actor. He's a really good actor, Zac Efron. Actually, I do like.
He is. I just don't know about the basketball part. Like, it seemed a little forced.
Actually, could have added High School Musical, but I was kind of like, no, not really.
It's not really.
The case to be made slightly for stretching. We're really stretching. But.
No, if we're gonna add one Disney Channel original movie, it's Luck of the Irish. Let's be honest.
Luck of the Irish.
Well, you don't want double teamed with the twin girls with horrible basketball in it. Horrible continuity basketball.
Full Court Miracle wasn't bad though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but
I mean, everyone needs a good Jewish movie every once in a while.
Yeah, but
all right, Jordan.
I guess I'm up next, and I want to talk about one that I'm not sure if anyone else has seen, but I decided to give it a watch. This movie is freaking awesome. Like, I was really, really surprised. But I want to go with the movie. It's called The Winning Season. So it's a Sam Rockwell movie that Sam Rockwell and Rob Corddry in it, and basically Sam Rockwell has to become a coach of this the women's basketball team, and like he's just like Sam Rockwell. I don't think has ever given a bad performance. Like he's funny. Like he has some really powerful kind of like really moving scenes. They deal with like his alcoholism and like him just being like a total dick to these girls. And then you have Rob Corddry as like one of the girls' parents, just like sitting in the stands. He's like, "Hey man, you can't say asshole, you can't say fuck. You can't say that. These are high school girls. Come on, man." And like he just totally like throwing out all these obscenities all over the place. Like he kind of acts like he doesn't care, but low key he really does care. And there's just some like crazy hijinks and shenanigans. There's some stuff with his daughter in it that's like really, really powerful too. And like just a really fun movie. Like honestly, like I'll watch Sam Rockwell in almost anything. He's one of my favorite actors, and so I'm gonna nominate the Winning Season for S tier and see if anyone's actually seen this movie. So we'll start with Richie. Have you seen The Winning Season?
I have not seen this movie, but like that, sounds intriguing. I would like to. So I didn't know this movie existed until just 30 seconds ago. So I'll give it a watch.
Yeah. Well, Ross, have you seen it?
Nope. But I was asked, and they have the totally underrated Margot Martindale in it. But yeah, now I'm gonna have to see it because I love Sam Rockwell, and then like Margot Martindale is good in anything she's in.
Oh yeah, she's actually really good, and also they have Rooney Mara in it too, and like they do some things kind of surrounding LGBTQ stuff that's actually like works pretty well. So it's not kind of, like too in your face or anything. So yeah, but Jacob, have you seen it?
Nope, but apparently it is on Amazon Prime, so maybe I'll give it a shot for Sam Rockwell.
Oh yeah, it's on there. Yeah,
Sam Rockwell is enough for me to watch anything at least once.
Yeah, for sure. Austin, have you seen it?
Unfortunately, I was too busy watching Crossover and Airbud and Joanna Man and watching dog shit to watch good basketball movies
Yeah,
in
right.
preparation for this. So because that's what I do.
Really good.
So no,
Even
I
Emma
haven't
Roberts
seen the
was
winning
like
season.
solid. So yeah,
Yeah,
but since I'm the only one that's seen it, unfortunately,
it's got to go down there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd highly recommend it though. Like it's really, really good. Like I was
but
blown away.
as we do, if you get one that haven't seen, you get to go again. So you can go again and try
Yeah.
again.
All right. Let me see. Let me look at this list just real quick.
There's
hold on,
another really
another one.
obvious high S tier if we want to get it out of the way, Jordan. But I mean, that's up to you if you want to use your pick on it.
I mean, I've got it in mind, one in my head.
There is
There's a
super S.
really obvious one, like a really obvious one from the '80s, with some serious actors in it.
Well, the only one I'm thinking of is
Teen Wolf.
Yeah, right.
Teen Wolf
No,
or
not Teen Wolf.
or Hoosiers. Probably that's the only one I was thinking of.
Ding,
Like
ding, ding, ding. You might be right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like Hoosiers is an S tier for sure. I'll throw it up in there.
Hoosiers is like Rudy. It kind of has to be up
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's one of those ones that like when you talk about basketball movies, it's the first one that comes to mind.
It's
for
up
everyone.
there.
Like ooh, Hoosiers, like yeah, like he like Gene Hackman just gives a powerhouse performance and there's really good basketball scenes that actually work. I think the actors that they got are actually like legitimately talented basketball players. Like and like they build really good tension. You're on the edge of your seat like the whole entire time. So yeah, like Hoosiers is an obvious one. It's like a come on pick. Like come on, it's an S tier. Like yeah,
it's got to be.
So, but we'll see what you guys think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to add. Yeah, like, so that's the first thing you think of when you think of a basketball movie. It deserves to be up there. So, obviously, S tier. I probably wouldn't put it as high as White Man Can't Jump, but it does deserve to be on S tier.
Yeah, sounds good. Ross, what do you think?
This is an S tier movie. You know, like, and then like I'd actually put it at the top of this. I love this movie, and then I realized that I'm like after talking to you guys about this too. What is up with basketball movies dealing with drinking? Because this is our third movie that has to do with
Yeah, there's another one. Yep.
Yeah, but still, but you know, like Dennis, I love Gene Hackman in this movie, but I actually thought that like Barbara Hershey, I think that's her, and then Dennis Hopper were actually better. But like Gene Hackman is always good in anything he does, you know. But still, but this
Dennis
movie
Hopper,
is amazing though. I love this movie.
Yeah. Well, Jacob, what do you think?
I think this is a big blind spot for me, and I have not seen it yet.
Oh, ouch.
yeah.
If you call yourself a basketball fan, you got to watch this movie. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
yeah,
Austin?
this is the quintessential one you'll see on every like top 10 basketball movies list. I have the Blu-ray. I've watched it 2 or 3 times. It's good. Again, I don't think it's as entertaining as something like White Man Can't Jump, which is why I would put that one number 1. But as far as like a standard, like this is what a basketball movie should be essentially. Like if you're playing like a straight basketball movie, not street ball, not a comedy, whatever, just a underdog basketball story. Hoosiers, again, it's like Rudy, it's like Rocky, it's like those for basketball. It's essentially like the quintessential one. It was back in '86. It kind of started it. It's that movie as far as basketball goes. So it has to be on the S tier. And like it is very good. I'm not knocking it at all. I just think there's been movies that are a little more entertaining that have come along purely. But yeah, much like Rudy, it's like, it's Hoosiers. Like Hoosiers has to be in the top 5, like easy, just because it's very well made and very good. But I just don't think it's super rewatchable. Some people like love to rewatch this movie. I don't think it's like super rewatchable, but it's really good.
Yeah, I'll throw it a little higher. I'll throw it right there.
Around there is fine.
Yeah, I wonder what does Roca think of this movie, because Roca hates Rudy.
Oh yeah, true. You never know, but we have Malcolm asked that. If I'm not a basketball fan,
that's exactly what it means.
We don't have to watch anything, Malcolm.
Here's the thing. If you're not a basketball fan,
you
cannot be a basketball fan and think White Man Can't Jump is entertaining. That's the difference. That's why that movie's fun. Like you don't even have to be a
Yeah.
basketball fan, and that movie's just fun and funny and like it's super
Yeah.
entertaining. Like you don't even have to be really a basketball fan because that one's more about shit talking and hustling and things like that. And then they play the game, but like it's more about the culture of like street ball and like hustling and stuff like that. Like which is why I think it's the most entertaining movie out of all these, straight up.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll throw it back down to Richie. So if you got another one you want to nominate, go for it.
All right. So there's a couple others in my head. Yeah. All right. I'll do it. I think I won't put S tier because there's not as much basketball in it as the others, but He Got Game is really good.
Yeah. Okay.
I will put that in A.
Go up over.
I-
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, like like Denzel Washington can't put a foot wrong. He's amazing in this. Ray Allen is great. Yeah. Obviously it's obviously it's the center around obviously the basketball player and stuff like that. But it's like obviously the his dad being in prison is like the central part of the kind of thing. But yeah, it's still a very I still think it's one of Spike Lee's better movies. But yeah, and that don't get talked about. So yeah, I would I definitely like just because I feel like things in the S tier are a bit more basketball centric in the terms of like showing basketball. I think A is a good spot for it. So I would say he got game.
Yeah, sounds good. Ross, what do you think?
I think this is an A movie. I don't love it, but I do like it. And I remember thinking that like it took a little bit too long to get going. But but I'm actually since I'm going through all the Best Picture winners, I'm actually a big fan of the guy that played the warden, which was Ben Johnson.
That's Ned Beatty, who just passed away. Like a year ago.
Then I forget Ben Johnson was in this, but still this movie was pretty good though. Still, it's not one of Spike Lee's best, but it's definitely not his worst. So yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I'd put it maybe in the A. I remember liking it fine for what it was, and then Ray Allen's actually a really good actor. He'll come up later on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sounds good. Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go S tier for this one actually, because it definitely is a basketball movie. It's just a different kind of basketball movie. It's going through the whole, high school senior has to pick a college, and you see kind of that process. And while there's not many basketball scenes, you got the game at the end, which I think is really good. You got some, flashbacks to the training and coaching between, Jake and Jesus, and I think those are really good. I think Denzel Washington's performance in this movie is really good. But Ray Allen, like, I'm very skeptical of actors or athletes as actors, and I think he's definitely one of the better ones. I really liked his performance. And Rick Fox in his short time on screen, I think he's really good. I really enjoyed him as part of the Lakers. I thought he was a good basketball player, and he's a decent actor as well. I dug this movie. I thought it was great. I just watched this one for the first time recently, and it's kind of sticking with me. So yeah, S tier, lower S tier, but S tier.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I hadn't seen this movie in like 20 years since I rented it from Blockbuster years ago. But actually, ironically enough, I'm glad you brought up He Got Game because I was just watching it a few hours ago and finished my rewatch. So it was on HBO Max. I put it on. I was like, you know what? I hadn't seen this movie in like 20 years. Let me put it on. And yeah, it's more like a like we talk about some of those movies like Moneyball or Draft Day. That's more kind of about the process of basketball. Like there is basketball in the movie, don't get me wrong. Like there's some street ball, there's flashbacks of him as a kid, with Denzel on the court. There's the final game, so there is basketball in the movie. But yeah, it's more about like this guy Ray Allen who's like about to graduate high school, and more about the college like recruitment process, and about these guys like the sports agent who has this big scene, trying to get him to sign a contract to go directly in the NBA, and then all these schools, sending him all these letters and phone calls and all this stuff. But it's interesting. It does take a bit too long to get there. This movie's like 2 hours and 17 minutes. It's like Coach Carter. It's too long. Like, and it just has way too many scenes that just kind of don't go anywhere fast. Like they just need to be sped up a little bit. But that's Spike Lee just kind of doing his thing. I'm not a big Spike Lee fan, like overall. I just don't like a lot of his movies, but I think this is one of the better ones, one of the more mainstream kind of entertaining ones. For the purposes of this list, only because I'm looking at the rest of the list, I'm not seeing a lot of movies that are like better than this, honestly, or like even on par with it. It's better than Air Bud. So this thing needs to be an S tier because it's better than Air Bud. I mean, come on. Like Air Bud's fine as an honorable mention, but it should be on the same level as Air Bud. Like He Got Game's a better movie. Like just for Denzel and Ray Allen alone, like they're both very good. So I'll go S tier just slightly, but yeah, it'll probably be more like a 9 or 10 spot. But yeah,
It might have to be the standard. Like, is it better than Air Bud? Well, then it might go in S tier, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, like basketball is like poetry in motion. I mean, the second coming of Jesus. It's the whole Jesus Shuttlesworth thing, and with Ray Allen. But yeah, the movie's a lot of fun. Like, I'm not a huge Spike Lee fan either, but this is one of the ones that I like better. Like, it's not as bad as unlike the Old Boy remake or some of those other ones that Spike Lee's had. But He Got Game. It's probably one that I watch maybe like every other year. I don't watch it every year, but I do watch it quite often though. So yeah, and I have a lot of fun with it. Like I always get pretty pumped up with all the street ball stuff, and so yeah, I would probably put it in the S tier, but it'd be a lower S tier. Like I'd put it below everything that's in S tier, but I'd put it above everything that's in A tier. So I'd just give it a low S. So.
Spike Lee would be happy to know that he's on par with Space Jam. I'm sure he'd be happy about that.
Yeah, right. On par. Yep. Well, Richie.
No, he nominated it. He nominated it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
so
okay.
we got 3 S's and A, so it's gonna bump up to S, at least for now. So yeah.
All right. Tier, yeah.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
All right. So we get
Ross.
So Ross, you're up again.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna put a movie that is better than it had any right being. It looked like another Joanna Man, but it was actually a good movie. That was Uncle Drew.
Okay. Yeah.
Uncle Drew is actually a really funny movie. If you were to watch it, okay, like I had the A list and it was my first time using it. Like there's nothing really that I have to see. My friend says like Uncle Drew has a 60%. So I said I thought I'd get like a 2 or a 3%. So then I watched it and we're actually like laughing the whole time. And then like the scene where they make who's the guy for the Pacers that was that was a good 3
Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
I was cracking up. Like this movie is actually like really funny. Like the trailers, it was just a badly cut trailer, but it is really funny though.
Yeah, for sure. Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised by Uncle Drew. I'm a fan of Kyrie Irving as a basketball player, and he did some of his Uncle Drew stuff. I didn't think it necessarily needed a full length movie, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's definitely passable. All the basketball stuff is really good. I think it's a good first one-time watch if you're a basketball movie fan. I think this is, if you're a basketball fan, I think it's a good one-time watch. I'm my gut says to go B, so I'm going B.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
I don't know if I can vote because I tried to watch this movie like 3 days ago, and 30 minutes in, I just got annoyed, and I just I turned it off. I don't know why. This movie just annoyed the shit out of me. I don't even know why. Like, maybe it's because I didn't buy Nick Kroll as a basketball star, and just and to me, it was just like, this would have been funny as like a short thing, like a SNL or something like that. Hey, isn't it funny that Shaquille O'Neal and all these guys have old man makeup on and they're dunking on everybody? Ha ha ha. And to me, it was just like I think it's just a premise that didn't need a full movie. It was Pepsi the movie. There was way too much fucking Pepsi product placement in this movie for no reason. I don't know. I don't know if I should even qualify my vote because I turned it off 30 minutes in, so I didn't even finish it. I just got annoyed. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing. I have an incomplete vote.
Yeah. Well, What I would say,
yeah, I for incomplete.
yeah. Yeah. But I would say that if you're a basketball fan, like I would highly recommend this movie just because it's a lot of fun seeing all these different basketball players come out and just like try to act and like try to have fun. So like it and like some of it works, some of it doesn't so much. But if you're not a basketball fan, I mean, you don't really have to see this movie. Like
Right.
it's not. But
I'm
if
not
you
an
are,
NBA
though, I would
fan,
say,
so
Yeah,
maybe
if
that's
you're
my
not-
hang up. Like, I'm not an NBA fan, so I mean, that's just me.
Yeah. I feel like
But-
NBA fans would definitely get more enjoyment out
Yeah.
of this than just a casual like basketball movie / movie fan.
yeah. Because
Right.
if you look at all the like basketball players, you got Chris Webber, Shaq, you got Reggie Miller, Kyrie Irving, Nate Robinson shows up. Even like
I don't know who Kyrie Irving
Steve-
is. Like, I know the
Yeah.
name, but like I don't know who Kyrie Irving
Yeah.
is. So like that means nothing to me. I know who Reggie Miller is because I was like a '90s
Yeah.
basketball fan, and Shaq obviously, but like I don't know who that
Lisa
is. Like, I don't
Leslie
know
for
who
the
these.
WNBA. She shows
Yeah, I
up
don't know
with
who these people are.
like even like Steve Nash and David Robinson, Dikembe Mutombo. They have some like small little cameos in it. So I mean, so yeah, like there's a lot of fun if you're a basketball fan, but if you're not, like you may just think this movie's kind of cheesy and dumb, but like for me, like I really like it because I am a huge basketball fan, so I'm gonna give it a B, and I'll say shout out to Reggie Miller and also Chris Webber. Those are my two favorites in it. Like Chris Webber was a preacher in it, so he's like doing all this kind of preacher talk and like saying hallelujah and all this stuff. So like that's fun, but yeah, a B for me. So.
Yeah, because then like you gotta admit though the trailer made it look like it was dog.
Yeah,
Trailer was horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the trailer's
Yeah.
bad. But
All right. Richie, you seen Uncle Drew?
I have not seen this movie. I don't think it got much of a wide release in Australia when it came out. I did see some stuff about it, but it kind of just flew by my radar. But maybe I'll give it a watch sometime.
Yeah. Well,
Still got 3 votes. So you got an A and 2 B's. So B tier is looking kind of lonely there. So maybe Uncle Drew is perfect for that B tier right now. So yeah.
I haven't seen Air Bud, but I don't.
No, real quick about this. I have a
I don't know
question.
if it's better than Air Bud.
I got a question about this. Are we allowed to pick movies that we do not think apply or no?
You can pick something for not a basketball movie if you want to when we get back around to you. When we get back around to you. Yeah, it's Jacob's turn right now though, so we'll go to Jacob.
No, I know.
Yeah, but you can.
Yeah, but Jacob, what do you want to go for?
I'm torn between choosing 2. I think the other ones. I think one of them somebody else might choose. So I'll go Glory Road. I think Glory Road is a lower S tier as a basketball movie.
Yeah.
Again, for any other list, it might be A or B, but I think for this list, I think it's S. I love the true story aspect. I think Josh Lucas is great as the head coach. I can't remember the name right now of the coach, but I think
Don
it's just really, that's the name, Don Haskins. I think it's great. You're seeing the recruitment process that he has to go through to get people down to his little college. Because college was always the goal for him, and he finally got there. I think it's an inspirational story. I think it tackles racism really well. I think the basketball scenes in this movie are all great, especially like the national championship game. I think it's just wonderful. I think as a basketball movie, it's definitely S tier. Lower S tier, but S tier.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
I saw this movie on a treadmill like 10 years ago, and the fact that I still remember it is is funny because this is definitely like while it's not an amazing movie, I think again for the purposes of this list, it's better than Air Bud. It's better than Uncle Drew. It's better than a lot of these movies. It's kind of it's kind of like Disney's Remember the Titans equivalent to basketball. Like it was kind of their attempt to do kind of something similar to Remember the Titans for basketball, with like the race relation stuff and the kind of semi-true story sort of thing. I remember enjoying it. I mean, the basketball stuff was good. And again, Derek Luke around, the early 2000s. We were really trying to make him a star between this and like Antoine Fisher and all that stuff. Like people were really trying to make him a star, and I don't know if it ever actually happened, but but yeah, they were pushing for it. But yeah, I mean, I think for this, yeah, it would probably be in that like 9 or 10 slot for the S tier. But yeah, again, it's a solid enough movie. Kind of like when we talked about our football movies, like that movie Miracle with Mark Wahlberg. It's kind of like in that vein.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's really good, but like, is it an all-time classic? Maybe not. But for the purposes of this list, I think it'll do. I think it'll do for the S tier. Yeah.
And shout out Ashley from Fresh Prince.
Right.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, like Josh Lucas, like used to, like a long time ago, used to get him confused with Matthew McConaughey, because early Matthew McConaughey, I always thought kind of looked like Josh Lucas. Nowadays they don't, but like back in the day, but it's like now all Josh Lucas is really doing is like narrating Home Depot commercials. Like I'm really good at like picking out the like voices from like all these commercials, so he does Home Depot. But I would say S tier for Glory Road. Like it's a lot of fun, and they really tackled the race super well. Like it's the team in the movie they call them Western Texas, but they eventually became UTEP is what the team actually is, and they and I really like how it like follows how like in the national championship game, they decided to start all black players, and it's the first time that any team had ever started all black players for their starting lineup. So I thought that was cool how they brought light to all of that. So yeah, like it's a lot of fun too, and then seeing John Voight out there as like the opposing coach, is like the kind of a-hole opposing coach. Like that's kind of fun to see too. So yeah, I'll say it. S tier. Richie?
Yeah, just a sort of quick clarification as well. Like, how many movies do you usually like try to get into the S tier? Is it like is there a number?
10.
10.
Yeah, 10.
Oh, that's
We try to do a top 10 with some. Yeah, I know. We're going to be stretching. That's why we're trying to be generous a little bit. Because it's like on any other day, Glory Road would probably be in like the A- kind of tier, probably. But we're looking at the list, and it's like I'm looking at the list, like what's equivalent of that? Not a whole lot left to choose from. Yeah, so
But it is better than Airbus, so like
So when I was scanning through what's left on the table, Glory Road did jump out at me as something that it wouldn't be
quality.
It wouldn't be like kind of out of place on the S tier. So yeah, it was a fun movie. I even though I don't really remember a lot about it, but I remember enjoying it at the time. So yeah, and S tier. But
it was a perfect treadmill movie. I will say that. When I saw it on the treadmill, I was perfectly entertained for like the last hour of this movie. Like it worked.
Yep.
Ross.
Sounds good, Ross. Yeah.
This movie is barely an S tier. I do like it, but I don't love it. Is because like I noticed that like Disney around this time with their live action sports movies from the 2000s onward, they all have the same look about them too. You like this and The Rookie, Remember the Titans, and McFarlane, but they're all well made. But still, Glory Road I think might be the best one out of all of them, except maybe Remember the Titans. But yeah, Glory Road is a good movie, and then like John Voight was incredible in it, and then like wasn't Sam Elliott the coach too?
That sounds right. I think. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But still, this movie's pretty. This movie's still pretty damn good. It's entertaining.
Yeah. All right. Well, so it stays in the S tier. So, but maybe did everyone give it an S tier, or did anyone rank it lower?
Pretty much, but they were all like meh S tiers, like they weren't enthusiastic.
Yeah, right.
We'll
give it a definitive ranking at the end.
They're more like mini S tiers.
Because didn't he got game get 2 A's?
It was like 3 and 2.
A's,
So I mean, it might be above He Got Game right now. You could probably swap those. Yeah,
that's definitely something to look at. That's definitely something to look at come ranking time.
Yeah, we will. I read them all down, so we'll go back to it.
So
All right.
I guess you're up again, Austin. So
Yeah, I guess I'll go back to the trash just for a minute.
Sure.
So, all right. Look, I'm a massive Ernest fan. Like, I really am.
Here we go.
But even I will have
Yes.
to admit when, like, there's a shitty Ernest movie, and, like, Slam Dunk Ernest is a shitty Ernest movie. Like, it's bad. I tried to fucking rewatch it, and, oh God!
I'm
Like God
guessing.
bless Jim Varney. No, it's D tier. You know why? Because
Okay.
I'd rather watch this than Joanna Man. Because God bless him, Jim Varney is at least trying. He's still being earnest. Like he just doesn't have any good material. Like he's doing his best. He is trying. You know, there is a few bright spots. Like he's being earnest. He's just stuck in a bad movie. And I know some people will be like, well, all Ernest are bad movies. Well, no, they're not. Like some of them are way better than other ones.
Yeah.
But like this is the other one I was talking about that Miguel Nunez Jr. shows up in as like one of the team or whatever, like the clean sweep. And Jacob, I want to relate something to you real quick because you're a wrestling fan, right? And Richie, you're a wrestling fan too, obviously. They do some shit that I hate, especially at wrestling shows in this movie, where the woman is doing play-by-play over the PA system, which I fucking hate. You know, when people, especially at wrestling, like when they do play-by-play, like over the sound system of the arena or whatever, like I fucking hate that. And she's doing that in this movie where they're just like the clean sweep or taking it to the hole. Like, I hate. Oh my God, I hate that shit. Like, shut up. Like, just let me watch the game. Or like if you're at a wrestling show, you're like, just let me watch the matches. I don't want to hear your shit over the speakers. Like if you're doing commentary like recorded for like a DVD, that's fine. Or like for the radio or some shit, that's fine. But like over the system, I hate that shit. Anyways, just something that annoys me. That annoyed me in this movie.
Commentary should be exclusive for like TV and stuff. You know,
Yeah, for like the broadcast. Yeah, I don't want to hear that shit over the PA system. Like I just don't. But yeah, like it's just it's a dumb movie. Like he gets a hold of these magic shoes and he's like flying all over the court with these like magic shoes. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shows up as like the magical Negro. Like it's not good. It's not good. That's what they call it in that parody movie with David Koechner. That Mr. T play, or not another team movie, they call him out there. That's what Mr. T plays, like the Rudy parody. That's what they call it.
Whatever, that one? Is that what it is?
The comebacks, and then not another team movie, like Mr. T plays him. Like that's what they call it. Like that's the cliche. Like he plays the magical black guy. Like it's just what it is. That's what they call it. It's not good, and he's not good in it. It's just a boring, dull movie. Like God bless Jim Varney, I love him. Rest in peace. I love him to pieces, but he's stuck in a bad movie. This time it's not good. But I'd rather watch it than Crossover. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I gotta jump on the train of putting on your nostalgia glasses because I definitely gotta like this is some heavy nostalgia for me because I had the VHS of this as a kid and I literally wore it out. Like I watched this movie so many times and for me, like I just liked it because I liked some of the earlier Ernest movies and then even the TV show that he had. Like I had fun with all of that, and so I was like, "Yeah, here's Ernest again." So as a kid, I'm just like having a good time. And then like for some reason, like when he's not very good at basketball, like he's just all depressed. Like for some reason, I legit felt bad for him. Like, oh, poor Ernest, whatever. And so I had fun with it, but then like he gets these magical shoes and he gets kind of carried away where he's just like using them, like where he's working like with some kind of janitor at the mall or something like that. And so yeah, like it's not a good movie by any means, but I do have some pretty heavy nostalgia for it. So for that, I would probably give it a C tier for me. So, but yeah, well, see what you guys think. Richie?
This is an Ernest movie didn't even know existed. I'm not gonna lie. I knew about the other ones, and I don't
know it's bad when it's free on YouTube and they don't care.
Yeah, they
like
don't care.
That's when you know it's bad.
Yeah. I love the other. I mean, the other ones sort of almost there's certain charm to them, but yeah, like maybe I probably won't seek. I won't seek this one out. And maybe if I'm bored, I'll probably just put it on just for curiosity's sake. But like.
Yeah, really bored, sure.
Because Jim Varney does have those sort of does have a screen presence, even though it's limited. So I might put it on, but you haven't seen it. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah.
Well, it's free on YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah, it's free.
You can do it. But Ross, what do you think?
This movie is awful, but I do love Ernest. And this movie, though, is bad, but it cannot be worse than a movie that I don't think we'll ever talk about on here, Thunderstruck. But still,
Yeah.
this movie is awful.
Someone might nominate it.
And then like like, but I do love Ernest. And then like some people say that all Ernest movies are bad. He's had 4 good ones, but still, I would put this at a D. Yeah, D's a perfect place.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah,
Jacob,
because like
what do you think?
about Thunderstruck though, it actually had now like one of the funniest review lines I've ever read. Is this guy said that Kevin Durant could learn acting lessons from Shaq.
Oh, yeah.
It's got the premise. Thunderstruck has the premise of Space Jam without the Space Jam.
Yeah.
It's like this kid steals Kevin Durant's talent, and then Kevin Durant is stuck in the NBA with no talent. It's like the same thing that happens in Space Jam, where they steal the NBA player's talent, only it's not based around like aliens. It's weird.
It's Space Jam meets Like Mike.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, too. And this one, when he told me the plot, I was like, that sounds kind of like Mike also.
Yeah.
With the shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, but Ernest doesn't. I'll give any movie a pass if it can actually at least do the basketball scenes competently, and I don't think they do in this movie. Even with the premise as out there as it is with the shoes and everything, even when the people are playing normal basketball, it's still a little questionable at best.
The clean sweeper playing with big time heart tonight. That's literally what this lady's doing the whole time. She's horrible. The clean sweeper playing like they want to win the title. It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. She's horrible. The clean sweeper are
the only person though that actually I would like hand doing that is that lady from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one who talks like this, you're fucked. Her.
The clean sweep seem like they're distracted tonight. I wonder what could be on them. Shut the fuck. I throw a basketball in her face. Like, shut up.
Shut up.
Break your jaw. Shut up.
Yeah.
She's terrible.
It's not an F because it's definitely not on the level of Drew on a Man or Crossover.
No, it's not.
I'd go like D+ because I do get some enjoyment out of it because it's an Ernest movie, and I think all Ernest movies have some level of enjoyment, honestly. So I think D is fine where it is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ernest got the really stupid.
Well, I think D is. Yeah, I think D is where it's going to end up. So yep, D for dunk. Yeah. So it's amazing.
All right, Jordan. Yep.
Well, so I'm going to nominate one that I really liked, and I'm curious to see what other people thought because, like, people actually kind of mentioned this in the conversation for maybe Oscar movies, but never actually ended up getting actually nominated. But I want to talk about Uncut Gems. So, so I had a lot of fun watching Uncut Gems. Like, it's one of those movies where it's just like pure tension, like the entire time. You're just like on the edge of your seat, just like come on, like how many stupid decisions are you gonna make? But it's like really, really good because it's like Adam Sandler doing one of his more serious roles. And I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan, and also my favorite player of all time, Kevin Garnett, has a huge role in this movie, and so he's kind of palling around with Kevin Garnett, and he just plays this guy that he owns a jewelry shop, and then he keeps placing all these bets, these like horrible bets, and then he's like trying to be a good father to his kids, but he's kind of a scumbag a little bit, and so I mean, I had a lot of fun with this. I wouldn't really like put it anywhere near an Oscar-nominated movie, but I did see this actually twice in theaters because I was working at a movie theater at the time, and so to see it for free was worth it to see it twice, and I do think it's a really good movie, but I wouldn't really put it in the S tier, but I will say it's better than Air Bud and Basketball, so I'm going to put it in the A tier at the top. So
I'm going to argue something differently. It won't get to me, but maybe Richie will pick up what I'm putting down. But
Yeah, there's not a lot of basketball in it. I'll just say
All
that.
right, yeah.
But even still.
Yeah, I'll get it over with. I don't think it's a basketball movie.
Not
It's
a
got Kevin
basketball
Garnett.
movie.
It's got Kevin Garnett in it. He's good, but just because it's got basketball doesn't mean it's not a basketball movie. It's not the basketball is the central part of the storyline. It's
a gambling movie.
It's a gambling movie. Basketball is very minimal, so yes, I would say not a basketball movie. If we're talking,
Well, my argument is that Kevin Garnett is such a strong part of the movie, and in the movie he's actually playing basketball. So I mean but it's not like, he's not like a basketball player just trying to like act. He's actually playing basketball in the movie. So,
but like the basketball's not the central part of the plot, so I wouldn't call it a basketball movie. So my vote would be not a basketball movie. If we're talking about like best Adam Sandler, like if we're doing an Adam Sandler tier ranker, this would be probably up there. But it's not. I just don't think it's a basketball movie, so that's my vote would go.
Sure, yeah. Well, Ross, what do you think?
Okay, this is a comp. Like this one, I was gonna pick two as a movie. It's an S movie, but I do not consider it a basketball movie. It is because like yes, there are a few basketball scenes, but they're not live like in most movies. This one you only see it from a TV, and then now like he's mostly talking about basketball. But like he's not a player or a coach or anything. He's just betting on the game. So yeah. So then like this one's not a basketball movie. I love the movie, but it's not a basketball movie at all.
Yeah, fair enough. Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, it's not a basketball movie. It's not. You can change Kevin Garnett to Derek Jeter. You can change the sport to baseball, and you got the same movie.
Yeah, true.
Basketball doesn't really play, like Richie said, it's not important to the plot because it's so easy to change. As a movie, yeah, it's great. Adam Sandler, I would have loved to have seen him get nominated for Best Actor that year, but yeah, it's not a basketball movie.
So here's my argument. So things like Draft Day and Moneyball bridge that gap over the line to being about those sports, because even though we don't see a lot of those sports, they are directly connected to that sport, and it's always going on around them. In Draft Day, he is a sports agent directly in the football world, dealing with players and such. Adam Sandler is a jeweler who gambles on basketball. That's different. He has nothing to do directly with the team, with Kevin Garnett, like with anything to do with directly with basketball. He's simply betting on those games. He could be betting on anything. He probably bets on other things as well, not just basketball. It just happens to be probably his favorite thing to gamble on. The fact that Kevin Garnett is in it, yes, I appreciate that. I appreciate that he's playing himself, but again, we only, like we said, see that from the TV perspective. The fact that he's in it doesn't necessarily push it over into basketball movie for me. If he was Kevin Garnett's agent, or if he was like a guy who ran something with the team and he was betting on his own shit and like getting in deep with the team because he's like betting on his own stuff, like that would be one thing and that would cross the line for me. But because his profession is like a jeweler who gambles on basketball, I say not a basketball movie. And I know we included it on the list because to maybe have that debate, but to me, I think that's why it puts it in not a basketball movie territory.
Yeah. But just a little side, we're trying to see what other movies the Safdie brothers have even done. Like, I think they did like Good Time, that like Robert Pattinson movie.
They did Good Time.
Yeah, they're really good.
But I don't really know of anything else that they've done. So I mean, but yeah,
I mean, they're fairly new as far as really director wise. So I mean,
they're like, I got a funny story about this movie though. Oh, okay. Like we had had a bunch of friends over on New Year's, right? So then my friends like this. I want to watch a really good thriller that like make me feel tense. So that so then we're like watching it, and I asked my friend halfway through, I'm like, so how are you feeling? And then my friend was like, oh my god, she said, I've never been this anxious in my entire life.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, right. So it really makes you freaking anxious, yeah.
So then I said, no, like I could turn it off if you want, and then she's like, no. She said, I want to see where this is going, even though this is like the most anxious I've ever been in the history of movies.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but it's pretty intense. But But
All right.
we're back around.
So what we're gonna do? We're at 153. We'll do one more regular round, but we'll make it a little bit quicker, maybe about 30 seconds a pop. So we'll just make it quickly. If anybody wants to nominate one more thing, we'll just go through a couple more quick before we get to our final round. So yeah.
All right.
So a couple quick picks.
All right. Well, I think if we're going to get more in the S tier, we're sort of going to go beyond movies that show a lot of actual basketball action, and maybe have movies that have like basketball kind of in it, or about a basketball player, and there's more to the plot. And if you're going to get to S tier, I would put Basketball Diaries up there. As to the S tier, it's obviously not like. It's probably not your typical like basketball movie, like White Man Can't Jump, which is like full on basketball. But yeah, like I feel like there's a bit of slim pickings as far as actual basketball action being an S tier movie, and this movie by itself is great. It's probably one of Leo's breakout performances. It's fantastic. Very. It can be hard to watch at some points, but yeah, I would argue that it should be in the S tier. Maybe for a bit, on the lower side, just because there's more. I think there's a lot. There are others on the top of the list that are more integral to the basketball is more integral to the plot. But I think Basketball Diaries should be up there.
Yeah, sounds good. Ross, what do you think?
Okay, this is a complicated one with me too, only because I've seen it, but I haven't seen it since like 1998, so I don't remember it. All I remember is seeing his friend, played by Michael Imperioli. He's pushing him in the wheelchair. That's all I remember. I don't remember anything else.
Well,
so so we can put this as I kind of haven't seen it, but kind of,
Sure. Yeah, we can mark it down. I haven't seen maybe, but Jacob, what do you think?
I have not seen this one yet. I want to.
All right,
but I haven't been able to.
Yeah, fair enough. Austin,
Richie, Jordan, and we tried to find this movie for our Leo tier ranker. This movie's notoriously hard to find to even watch. For whatever reason, this movie's not streaming anywhere. It's not available for rental online anywhere. The DVDs of it's not on Blu-ray. Like, it's only DVD, and it goes for like $30 used online. Like, this movie's notoriously hard to find. I don't know why a DiCaprio movie is like so hard to find, but I remember we both tried to watch it for that, and we just couldn't find it anywhere. So I haven't seen this. Because I can't fucking find it anywhere. It's just like not available. Like I don't know where to watch it.
Yeah, and actually, I have seen it. I'm one of those ones that actually paid $30 for the DVD. So I'm like,
oh Jesus,
one of the only Leonardo DiCaprio movies that I haven't seen. So actually, I bought the DVD of it. And this movie's weird. Like, I almost kind of wish I didn't buy it because like this movie it just feels like Leonardo DiCaprio, he's like 16 in this movie, but it's a movie that, like, the character that he's playing, it should be at least 21. Like they're doing drugs, they're doing crazy stuff. They're like, I don't know, they're having sex. It's like all this really like adult stuff for this young kid to be doing all the time. But I mean, like, and it's just like it's not even so much about basketball, really. Like, it doesn't really show a lot of basketball. It's almost one that I would almost say maybe not a basketball movie, but I mean, it has enough, I guess. I mean, probably definitely has more basketball than Uncut Gems for sure, and like it's just him kind of mouthing off and just doesn't like trying to act like a tough guy in this like kind of rich like prep school, but he plays basketball and that's just about him like struggling to be a very good too, and so like it's fine. I mean, for me, like I was really kind of underwhelmed by it. I had a lot higher expectations, so I'd probably give it about a C for me. So, but
I've seen it. So,
yeah, two votes. Yeah, I
have two votes for it, but I wanted to at least talk about it a little bit. But we can bring it down to the haven't seen it now that we have 5 people, we can do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But Richie, because of that, you can go again. You can go again real quick.
okay. Well, I definitely know that people have seen this, and I'll apply the same logic that we applied to Space Jam. Like this movie in Back is not like an NST movie by itself, but if we're playing a good kids movie. We talked about it before. I'll bring
Like
up
Mike?
Like Mike. I'll bring up Like
Yeah,
Mike.
like Mike.
I'll bring up Like Mike. I think it gives Like Mike's a good fun movie, but when they try to make Bow Wow like a bigger thing than he ended up being, but I didn't try to make him into a movie star, right? But yeah, it was fun. It was back when they also tried to make Jonathan Lipnicki a thing.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. If we're talking about sort of other movies like sports movies, it would probably go down below the list. But I would argue that if we got Air Bud at A, at least deserves an A. But yeah.
Dude, I need to go back and watch this movie. Like Jesse Plemons is in this movie, Brenda Song's in this
yeah.
movie, Crispin Glover, Robert Forster, Eugene Levy. I need to go back and watch this damn movie.
Yeah.
Paul Rubens.
I haven't seen this movie.
Guy.
I haven't seen this since 2002. I need to go back and watch this. There's a lot of people in this
This
movie.
movie came on TV the other day, so I sat and watched half of it. Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
You don't need to watch the sequel, but
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Another one where they just tacked it on there. Yeah.
Well, Ross, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a good movie. It's nothing special, but it is good. And then Jonathan Lipnicki grew up to be a great basketball coach, and he won the title with the Raptors, Nick Nurse. But but still, it's a good movie. It's nothing special. I'd put it I remember I had fun with it, but it wasn't anything special. So maybe a B. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. Jacob, what do you think?
yeah, I'm looking back at the cast now just because Fred
Jesus,
Armisen is
everybody.
in it.
Yeah.
Reginald Bell Johnson is in this.
Yeah.
What?
Man, this is-
What? Carl
yeah.
Winslow is in this movie? I forget. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I have no memory of that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
What?
Yeah,
Kidding me? I gotta go watch. I'm pretty sure I own the DVD. I should pop this back in.
It's got some
And half the rest
great,
of the cast are all NBA players.
it's got some
it's
great
all the
NBA.
same
Yeah, it's got
people.
some great NBA players. I'm looking at the cast and I'm feeling more nostalgic for it as I look at the cast and I mean I'll put it on I might put it above Air Bud actually. So I'll keep it right there in that A, but I'd say below basketball but above Air Bud.
Yeah. Well, Austin, you haven't seen it, right?
No, I saw it in the theater. So 2002. I saw this when I worked at the theater. I've seen it. Oh yeah, I saw it.
Wow, this movie's
I
20 years old.
You hadn't seen it.
No, it's just 20 years old. I can't believe this movie's 20 years old. No, I saw it in the theater when it came out. I remember it.
Yes,
I just didn't remember. I just didn't remember this cast list. I didn't remember all these other people being in this movie. I remember Crispin Glover. But I don't remember anybody else. It's a little more entertaining than your average kids movie. I think they take it a little more seriously. It's not bad. It's not trying to be super corny. It's not a. I mean, it's another magical shoes premise, but it's not bad. And may I add that Morris Chestnut has not aged since 2002. He looks exactly the same.
Yeah, right.
I don't know when this guy is going to start. He's one that we don't talk about enough. As far as the celebrities that don't age, he looks exactly the same. It's not bad. I would watch it over Air Bud probably again now that I've rewatched Air Bud recently. I'd probably watch Mike over Air Bud. At least it has a lot of good stuff. I remember a nice scene with him and Jason Kidd talking trash back and forth and having fun. So it's all right.
When they're singing DMX in the car, oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
And then this movie also has this guy who looks the same, except he had hair back then, and that's Rich Eisen. He still looks the same too, basically.
Oh yeah. And looking at the cast, the cast is just stacked. I remember, it came on TV, literally, I think yesterday. So I sat down and watched half of it, and I saw Jesse Plemons on the screen. And I'm what the frick? He was in this. I didn't even know that he's a bully guy named Ox or something.
Yeah.
He reminds me kind of the bully from a movie, A Christmas Story, the redheaded guy that would always bully, the Minkus or I can't remember what the. whatever they called the weird bully guy. But yeah, and then even Robert Forster, he shows up as
Real quick. Here's Morris Chestnut from like a Tyler Perry movie from like 2 years ago, right? Okay, there's Morris Chestnut. This is like a screenshot from like some Tyler Perry movie. Okay, let me scroll back. This is him in Like Mike 20 years earlier. He doesn't age. He's the same age. He's another Hollywood vampire. He has not aged.
Like when he played Ricky.
Yeah, it's
he
crazy.
looks the same basically.
Black don't crack.
Yeah,
don't crack, man. Jesus.
For sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, like I remember having a lot of fun with it. Like I remember when I was a kid, like one of the scenes with like Dirk Nowitzki, where he's like going up to get Bow Wow's autograph. He's like, hey, can I get an autograph for my little sister? Like, sure. What's her name? And he's like, Dirk. Yeah, her name's Dirk. Sure, or whatever. Yeah. So like, just them trying to like be funny, just have some fun. And like for me, this is one of the ones where like the NBA players kind of work, even though like as opposed to like Uncle Drew, like that one's fun, but they're like trying to be these cheeseball kind of characters. They're just being themselves, and so it makes it a little more fun, I think. So yeah, like I think that's a perfect spot, right on the A tier, right below basketball, but above Air Bud. I think that's all. I agree with you on that one. So yeah,
all right, fair enough.
Put it there. So all right, who's up now?
Rose.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with an S movie, and it's actually a documentary, and it's Hoop Dreams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like
we don't usually include a lot of documentaries, but this one had a theatrical release, and like it has a pretty famous Roger Ebert review too. So that's why we kind of included it.
Kind of plays out almost like a movie in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's kind of like a movie.
Yeah, and the movie that like that I almost picked as not basketball movie that was actually like Finding Forrester. But this movie we actually like watch in a film class, and then like people are going, I don't want to watch a 3.5-hour basketball documentary about people that never made it into the NBA. But then they actually watch it and then they go, oh wow, like this movie is actually like so entertaining. I watched it a few years ago, and then like I was actually riveted at like how well made it was. And this is like the start my film teacher said of where like documentaries can become interesting. And this movie, the basketball, is actually all real, so that the basketball scenes are going to be really good when well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really good.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, Jacob, what do you think?
Listen, I'm a big basketball fan. I think I've made that apparent. I'm not the biggest documentary fan. I do, if they interest me, I'll watch them. But when I see a 3-hour runtime on a documentary, I'm a little hesitant to turn it on. So this one I have not gotten around to yet.
All right, well, fair enough. Austin, have you seen it?
Yeah. I've seen it. Hoop Dreams was it was theatrically released. It made like $10 million, something like that, on like $1 million budget. So I mean, I thought it counted because not many documentaries get full theatrical release, especially back in 1994. Hardly any of them got theatrical release. They do a little more now, but yeah, it's really good. It follows these kids, kind of. Through their high school years and trying to either get into the NBA or get into good colleges and stuff like that, and but it's a really good like true life story. It plays kind of like a movie, and if we're going to include it on here, which I kind of fought to have it included, I think it's one of the better ones on there, only because it has a better story than half the movies on this list, and I think it works. Even like I said, Roger Ebert famously put it at his number one of 1994. If you go back and look, he was really high on this movie, and he got really mad because the Academy Awards snubbed it for even nominating for documentary, which he was outraged about. He wrote a big article about it.
And that's a big year for movies too.
Yeah. So and he put it at number one. Yeah, it was at number one in his top 10. So he was big on it. He was a big advocate for it, which is cool. I think it should be in the S tier somewhere. Yeah, again, maybe not near the top, but I would still include it. I think it's really good.
Okay. And I just looked it up. Apparently, it's got a Criterion Blu-ray too.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's on HBO Max because HBO Max has a deal with Criterion right now, so a lot of the Criterion movies are on there. So yeah,
I'll have to pick up maybe.
It is, and if you don't have HBO Max, it's on Crackle.
Ooh, nice.
Cracker.
Cracker.
All right.
But,
Home of Joe Dirt.
remember
2.
that one?
Yeah.
Home of Joe Dirt too.
Yeah. But for me, I'm a huge sports documentary fan. Like I do like documentaries in general. Like I watch a lot of true crime ones too, but especially sports ones, like especially all the ESPN ones or like 30 for 30, those things that they do. That like I'm really big on them, and like Hoop Dreams is great. Like it's one of the best documentaries almost ever made. Like it's really good, and it's and like just seeing the journey that these kids go on, and I think they might be brothers. I'm not sure. Maybe they're best friends.
No.
I can't remember
They never
that.
knew each other.
Yeah. Oh, they never knew each other. Okay. Well, the way they play it out kind of makes it seem like maybe they did, but yeah, like it's really solid. I feel like it's like something that could have been made into a series because like kind of like the Chicago Bulls one, they made it into a series. Or like I'm really big on like stuff like the Reggie Miller documentary, like him talking about his sister. His sister was so good that she would actually outplay him by a lot actually, and or like the Len Bias. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Len Bias, who was a guy that was supposed to be as good as Michael Jordan and like really rival him, and then right after he got drafted to the Celtics, he overdosed on cocaine and he died and never got to play in the NBA. So just imagine that. Imagine if you had someone that would rival Michael Jordan. Like it's just crazy to think about. But for Hoop Dreams, I think that like I'm really glad that it got a theatrical release and it's gotten all this notoriety and people really talk about it because it deserves it. So I would say S tier, yeah, for sure. S tier all the way. So, but
yeah, there's a compilation online, a Siskel and Ebert compilation of them talking about Hoop Dreams, from their initial review to like their top 10 to them talking about the movie getting snubbed for documentary at the Oscars, like all kinds of stuff. So yeah, they were big. They were really high on it. Yeah,
he got
pissed
off too because like he was like this. He actually said one time he was like this. I could kind of understand it not knocking him in for best picture. He said, but those fuckers, he said, for some of you for best documentary.
Yeah, it was a crime. Yeah.
But
I may have to watch this and talk about it on a later show.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a con documentary. I'm gonna be honest. I probably would have picked. I just didn't see it there. I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, no, it is great, and yeah, one of the probably better documentaries. I don't really have much more to add, but yeah, it probably should even be up there. Probably, yeah, it's definitely probably. I probably at the top of S tier, nearly. Maybe beside Hoosiers, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good. So probably the people that have seen it, like it'll be S tier. So we'll leave it up there.
It'll be up there somewhere. We'll talk about the rankings later, but yeah.
It was pretty high. Like
right.
I would agree with that. Maybe up by Hoosiers, but we'll talk about it. But yeah. But Jacob, you got one more you want to talk about?
Yeah, let me see.
We still got Hail Mary, but yeah, we'll pick one more.
Yeah, you know what? I'll forfeit my turn this time, and there's nothing that I'm like feeling strong about. So
sure, yeah. Austin.
I won't go S, but I'll go A for a movie that really surprised me that I had never seen and how much I laughed was I guess we'll talk about Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell. Yeah, I was really surprised at how much I laughed at Semi-Pro and really enjoyed it. I had never seen it before, like a couple weeks ago when I watched it, and I thought it was really entertaining, and I thought they played with the premise a lot, with them being this like minor league basketball team, and the fact that it kind of subverted some stuff where they're not going for a championship, they're going for fourth place, and they talk about that a lot. We're going for fourth place, fourth place. Like I thought that was fun, and it did something that a lot of these movies you would think they would do, and it doesn't do it. Is you keep waiting for the team to turn on Jackie Moon, and they never do. They stick together like the whole movie, and they don't turn on him. Like you keep waiting for that twist, and it never happens. And I like the fact that it stays pretty pure for most of the movie. They don't have this like infighting. The closest you get is when Woody Harrelson comes in, and they they're a little hesitant, but then he joins the team pretty easily, pretty quickly. But yeah, I thought there was a lot of really strong scenes. I thought the setting was good. The soundtrack was awesome. I just thought it was way better than it had any right to be when I watched it. I don't know if anybody will agree with me, but I thought it was way better than I thought it was going to be. So I'd go A. I wouldn't go S tier, but I'd go A for semi-pro.
Yeah. And again, I'm kind of in the same boat. When I first saw semi-pro, like I went with a friend who, like, I grew up kind of more conservative, so I went with a friend who wasn't really like into R-rated movies, but I just brought him to go see it, and like he just kind of like, that was a stupid movie, F-bomb on this and F-bomb that or whatever. But like for me, like so like that kind of like brought down my enjoyment on my first watch. But this is a movie that every time that I watch it, like it gets better and better after every viewing. Like I'll catch little things that I didn't catch the first time. Like it just gets funnier. Also, one of my favorite things is that all the promotion that they did for semi-pro was awesome. Like all the Old Spice commercials that he did, you can go find them all on YouTube. There's like a whole string of like maybe 10 of them that are like really, really funny. And then he appears on like Sports Center and like does some commentary and stuff. So there's some good stuff surrounding it. And like it's really, really funny. Like Woody Harrelson's great in it too, one of his teammates. And yeah, like I would give it an A for sure. So, but Richie,
Yeah, this is a movie that I didn't really. I was neither here nor there on when it first came out. I thought it was fine, but not. I didn't grab me like I saw my other little girl stuff. But then I watched it again, and I'm like, I think I've been sleeping on this movie. It was entertaining. Quite entertaining. I think Andre 3000's really good in this movie. I think I think the bear thing, the crazy fish. Come on, the crazy fish. And I love the scene was there. This movie is like, it's ridiculous, but I enjoy it. Yeah, not an S tier, but A is a good spot for it.
Get the funk out of my face. Get the funk.
Yeah, all the things that he does
out of my face.
What put the team in the NBA when he's first 1,000 fans and make it to the turnstile, get a fresh hot pancake right off the griddle, and they're like, okay, like what's going on here? It's fun. Oh, but Ross, what do you think?
I've never seen it. It's always been on my list. I just haven't got around to it, But I will see it eventually, because like I love this is set during the ABA days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then
spoiler alert: the Flint Tropics didn't make it. They are not in the NBA now.
No. I think I remember though that they said that like ABA actually had way better, players too. They said.
They had some good ones.
I think Pistol
was it a real team, or was it just made up for the movie?
I'm pretty sure it was. No, it was. I don't think it was a real team at all. No.
Okay, I was gonna say I never heard of them. Yeah, Flint, Michigan. Yeah. But,
Michigan Tropics.
Jake,
yeah, no. I debated bringing this one up, but I didn't because I figured it was one of the more obvious choices left. I think it's a solid A tier movie. It's kind of just below basketball for me in terms of just fun entertainment. So while I had basketball low S, I would say semi-pro is like a high A as far as an entertaining basketball movie goes. Mm-hmm. And Andre 3000,
that's good stuff.
It's better than the reviews at the time gave it. If you haven't gone back to it and you're watching, I would encourage a rewatch because I had heard the bad reputation too when I put it on, and I was surprised at how pretty entertaining and funny it was, like overall. And Will Arnett and Andy Daly as the commentators were actually really funny. Like it's like classic like funny commentary guys. Like they're pretty good.
Yeah, but like they also said that like this movie is barely even rated R too.
Yeah. Well, like the whole thing about the camel, he wants to get a live camel and just like let it loose in the arena and light firecrackers and just see what happens. It's gonna be pandemonium or whatever. Just like all the crazy, like there's some pretty crazy like like lines that they come up with. But live camel from the Middle East, just like okay, but yeah. So
Okay.
it sounds like A tier is probably where it's going to end up. So
All right.
Yeah,
It's-
yes, it sounds better
So,
than
yeah.
Action Part, which was a piece of shit.
Action stuff.
It's better
Yeah,
than
it's
the
probably better
22%
than-
it has
than-
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Air Bud.
Yeah, it's better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Shit,
Well,
at this rate, Airbud might get bumped up into
well,
the
for
S
me, for
tier.
my last
We'll see.
I know, right? I'm kind
I
of
mean,
worried, but
But I mean,
We can't find anything better.
yeah. Well, the movie that I want to talk about, which is another one probably no one else has seen, and that's why I want to talk about it now versus the Hail Mary round. But I want to talk about the movie Wolves. So, like, I don't know if anyone's ever seen it, but it's a Michael Shannon
Nope.
movie that has let's see it. I have the cast pulled up here. Let me see it. It has Michael Shannon, Carla Gugino, and has Zazie Beetz. Like, it's a pretty a solid movie, and it's one for Michael Shannon. I don't think that he's ever given a bad performance. He's one of those actors, kind of like Sam Rockwell. Like, he just gives a good performance no matter what he does, and like probably just gonna throw it into that I haven't seen it because I don't think anyone else has. We don't even need to go around the horn. I just want to just give it some love, but like it's really solid. There's another one that has to do with drinking again. Like I don't know what it is with these basketball movies and drinking, but which is one of those. But it also has to do with gambling. So like kind of along the like Uncut Gems line, but like it's really solid. Like he gets in like debt with all these different like gambling bookies, and in the beginning kind of makes it look like they're really good at picking bets, and that he really like comes out with some big wins, but then you find out how much that he really owes, and so he's like making these other bets to cover all the debts that he has. But this movie actually shows basketball. His son plays basketball, and he's known to be sort of like a Ray Allen type. He can shoot 3-pointers really well, and so it's a solid movie. If you haven't seen it, which sound like nobody on the panel has, you can watch it on Hulu though. So I would highly recommend it for sure. So yeah, but that'll do it. I just wanted to give it some love, so we can go to Hail Mary. Right.
All right, that sounds good. Well, we'll go to the Hail Mary round. Again, I don't know if any of these are going to get shouted up for SRA. Maybe we stretch a Teen Wolf. I don't know. We'll see. But what we'll do is we'll just go up and down the line. If there's any other movies you want to shout out for a specific tier, preferably one of the higher ones. Although if you want to shout out something lower at this point, just because, that's fine. But we're shooting up. Anything else you want to shout out for a tier, we'll do that. And anything that has a crossover between different people, anything that gets shouted out more than once, we'll go back and give official rankings for. If that makes sense to everybody, I think everybody's been on tier ranker before, so they probably understand that at this point. So that's what we'll do. So, Richie, is there anything else on this list you think is of high quality, or at least decent quality?
Of decent quality, the only one that jumps out at me, other than like Teen Wolf, is Blue Chips. I think it's a decent movie. But yeah, so I'll put Blue Chips. Like 17 again is a good movie, but I'll make the argument that it's not a basketball movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to beaten track here, but my eyes are drawn to what the fuck is Kung Fu Dunk? I don't know. But
Yeah, right.
I don't know. It was like
it was
an Asian theatrical movie. It sounded like Kung Fu Hustle or something. Like it's like a Kung Fu basketball movie. I don't know. It was on the list.
Anyone's seen it.
I'll give a shout out. I don't think it's a high tier. You can make an argument maybe a it got shit on when they came out with critics, but there's entertainment to be had from Celtic Pride. I don't mind the movie. So
Yes, I was gonna pick that too.
I'll shout that movie out. But other than Six Man's alright as well. I'll put that at maybe a B or A. So there you go.
Okay.
We had to decide whether or not to watch Kung Fu Dunk or to watch Wolves right before we went to air, and I went with Wolves. So yeah, but Ross, do you have any you want to?
Oh yeah, I do want to
Sure.
talk about. I got two. I got Celtic Pride, which is entertaining, and then Finding Forrester is not a basketball movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
true, but
It's a writing movie. because
Yeah.
yes, he's there to go to school for basketball, and there's some basketball teams, but if you were like swap it out with any sport, it'd still be the same. It's a ride movie, but yes, Celtic Pride is actually very entertaining. It's not the best movie ever made, but it is fun. Anytime that you have Daniel Stern yelling, "I'm in love with the Celtics," you got to admit it's pretty damn funny.
Sure, yeah.
You'll get to like about Thunderstruck. Like I love that review line though. It's how Kevin Durant needs to take acting lessons from Shaq.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Jacob?
Yeah, before I just found out Kung Fu Dunk is free on Amazon Prime, so I'll definitely be giving that a watch soon.
Nice.
It's got that guy Jay Chow who was the dude in the Green Hornet movie with Seth Rogen. So if any of you guys saw that, he was Kato in that movie. So I guess he does some kind of kung fu basketball stuff in that movie.
I saw that piece of shit.
Yeah.
But
all right. Anyways.
Anyway, yeah. So I guess for the shadows, these are more personal picks. I guess I'm gonna go Teen Wolf, Love and Basketball, and Eddie with Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay.
Sure, yeah.
Eddie's pretty bad, but it's not terrible. Though.
Hey, you watch yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Austin?
I don't know. Teen Wolf's all right, I guess. For the purposes of this, maybe. The Sixth Man I watched for the first time and it sucks. Sorry, that movie stinks. It's not even as good as Angels in the Outfield.
Do you know who else is in those Six-Man too? It's Kadeem Hardison.
I know, but My Man Can't Jump. He's way better in that movie. Yeah, he's way better in that movie. I tried to. I didn't get a chance to watch Celtic Pride, even though it's on my double DVD with Six Man. I didn't get to the other side. I don't have anything else. Teen Wolf's fine, I guess. All right.
Yeah. For me, like Teen Wolf, I definitely nominate that for the A tier, especially for the music. It's got some great music that kind of like fits it really well. But
it's got Bobby Finstock in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the IRS is the personal vendetta against Bobby Finstock. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Teen Wolf 2 sucks, though. You don't want to watch Teen Wolf 2.
But like, I would actually nominate Hurricane Season for an A tier. For anyone who hasn't seen that, like Solid Force Whitaker, about a basketball team that like rebuilds after Hurricane Katrina. Like, it's pretty solid. And I don't know if there's anything else. Maybe Above the Rim. Like, I'd give that an A tier. Like the like Tupac and Marlon Wayans like basketball movie, sure.
Yeah, like for the most offensive movie in the list, that was actually the Air Up There.
Oh yeah. But and also Above the Rim has Derice from Cool Runnings. Like, he's one of the main like build people in that. So yeah, those are my picks. All
right, so we've only really got 2 crossovers, maybe. So we'll just vote on 2 movies. We're gonna vote on Teen Wolf and Celtic Pride. So let's vote on both of those. All right. So Richie, we're voting on Teen Wolf.
I mean, Teen Wolf might as well be an S tier. There's not.
It might as well.
If you're feeling more up there, it's like you could argue like basketball's not like a. After a while, it's not like a huge centric part of it, but it's with Slim Pickings, it's a decent movie.
There is a climactic basketball game, so it is a basketball movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to put not a basketball movie. It's a basketball movie, but and out of all this, it's definitely it's an Oscar contender compared to everything else we've got. On the table. So yes, put on S tier. Celtic Pride. Like I said, I think it's more fun than the critics sort of gave it at the time. It's a bit, I don't know. Maybe sort of the jokes don't hold up today, but I would maybe say B.
Okay. Sounds good. Ross?
Well, Ross, you got thoughts
Yeah.
on those two?
Teen Wolf Celtic Pride.
Teen Wolf is an A, while like Celtic Pride's a B. And they're like, Celtic Pride has a weird ending, but it is funny. It's because like you do like one of those weird like, are we gonna make a sequel? Are we not? And then they never do. But still, like Celtic Pride is not bad.
I didn't make enough money.
Yeah, not enough
because,
money.
it has a 9%, but it is way better than that. Anytime that you have Dan Aykroyd, Daniel Stern, and Damon Wayans together, you know that it
Solid
can't
cast,
be
yeah.
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, too, and then it has Shooter McGavin in it too.
Oh yeah.
Well, when it only makes $9 million at the box office, that's not sequel material. So there you go. Yeah, not quite. And 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. It goes hand in hand.
I saw that before I recommended it. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
he really
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Jacob?
yep, and then I just read this
What's it?
critics review that actually sums it up for me perfectly. It says not quite a 3-pointer, but definitely more than an airball. Celtic Pride is a uneven but largely likable basketball themed comedy that should lay up, like sports. It's not great, but it's not awful either.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Jacob?
How many basketball references can you get in one review?
yeah, right.
Haven't seen Celtic Pride. Teen Wolf, I would give it an S, but I'm gonna bump it down to an A because it's like when they wrote the movie, they didn't know what jump balls were. You can't just pile on the ball and have everyone hold on to it and not blow the whistle.
Yeah,
You're gonna
right.
write a basketball movie.
Yeah.
At least brush up on the rules of basketball, please.
Remember that. When that happened, I
Yeah.
was waiting for it. I'm like, it's a jump ball, right? I'm like, wait, no jump ball? Okay.
Well.
Yeah, and then the guy disappeared though, from the movie. Like from Hollywood. He was good. It was the guy that played his teammate. The one who was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Mhm.
You mean the chubby guy? Was it that guy?
Francis.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
okay.
that's his character's name too. Is Chubby.
Yeah, yep. It's chubby. Well, Austin?
You see, it's funny because he's fat and his name is Chubby.
Yeah.
You see, it's funny.
Yeah.
Anyways. Well, you know what? As shitty as that joke is, we still need like 2 spots in the S tier. Why the fuck not isn't it Teen Wolf? Let's just throw it in there. S tier. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
It's Michael J. Fox. It's a werewolf playing basketball. Hey, I will admit the scene where he turns into a wolf on the court for the first time, and then like everybody just backs up and he just goes ah, and he just runs and dunks it. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, right.
So why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Werewolf playing basketball. Let's throw it in the S tier. Just
I'm
surprising.
nominating Teen Wolf for the S tier. Like I said, A initially, but it's like compared to what we have, like I think that it probably deserves an S tier, and also too, like I just like the scene when he takes the girl to the dance too, and he gets in a fight with her supposed boyfriend or like whatever, and like claws him or whatever. It's some big thing that makes him not want to be a wolf anymore, I guess. But yeah, we'll nominate for S tier, and then for Celtic Pride, I'll just say that it's better than Air Bud. So why not? We'll give it an A. Sure.
All right. Well,
You've seen it,
Celtic
Jordan,
Pride.
right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So Celtic Pride will end up.
By that weird sequel bait ending, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Jordan, Celtic Pride, an A and 2 Bs. So it'll probably end up in the B tier.
Yeah.
So
I'll
not
just throw it
quite.
up there just for the fun
Just
of it.
because. And then
Yeah.
Teen Wolf has 3 A's or 3 S's and an A, or 2 A's.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I guess it'll scoot in there last minute. Why not?
Yeah.
And it looks like we'll be bumping up something from the A tier.
Yeah.
I would like to point out.
Oh man.
And we're gonna have it. Hey, it'll be easy, and we'll have 3 automatic honorable mentions. There you go. This will make it really easy.
Yep.
And I would like to point out that I
have
gave
everybody in the
basketball
poll.
an S tier.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I didn't
Fair
have a
enough.
chance to vote for basketball. I would have voted, given the quality of movies we've got on the table. I would say,
Yeah. Like it's the only one that got an S vote, so we may as well just bump it up. I felt.
Well, what would Richie give it? Well, Richie can vote on it.
I would give it an S.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Then that'll be the one that gets bumped up.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
And look, we already have
Right,
our
so-
honorable mentions right there lined up nicely. So now we just got to rank the S tier.
Air Bud.
Right
All
there.
right.
All right.
Gonna be
I
in the
think
poll
the top
tomorrow.
three
We'll
are
see what people
imperfect.
say. Yeah. But
I think the top 3 are in perfect order.
top 3, yeah. I mean, I'm
But
happy with that. Yeah,
If
I
the
think it's
four
perfect.
of you, if the 4 of you want to put Hoosiers above Coach Carter, I'm okay with that.
For me, I think
I have no strong opinions on that, so I just leave it.
I don't really have an opinion either way, so I'm okay either way. I'm not
Yeah.
strong because I'm not like the most giant fan of Hoosiers. Like I'm not super passionate about it, but it's really
Same.
good. So I don't really have like a
Carter's
huge
more
opinion on it.
entertaining than Hoosiers. I
Yeah,
think,
probably.
So.
Yeah,
If I had
I'm okay with it.
if I had both movies in front of me, I'd pick Coach Carter right at this moment to watch. So. Yeah. So, and then I think for me, just for the nostalgia factor, I would bump up Space Jam over the Way Back, but I don't know. I might be in the minority.
I would probably put Hoop Dreams above, close to Way Back. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would put Hoop Dreams at 4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah, we should put it here. I think. Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah. You guys talked so strongly about it. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. And then I think that's fine. I mean, like I would maybe just have the argument still to bump up Space Jam, but if no one's on board, I'm cool with it.
No,
Yeah, because you
it's
guys
still a silly kids movie.
Yeah.
You know.
I'd put Glory Road above Space Jam personally.
Yeah, me too.
Mm.
Me too. Like
I
about
might as well. Yeah, I would too.
I wouldn't, but
I have no strong opinions on that. Yeah, so whatever you can do, whatever you want to do.
if it's majority rules, I guess sure. Like why not?
Yeah, but like about the Hoop Dreams though, if you can get a bunch of like high school kids to shut up and pay attention to it, then you know that it's doing something right.
Yeah.
I'd put He Got Game above Space Jam myself. It's a better movie.
I would too.
I would too.
All right. Man, instead of moving up, moving down, that makes me sad.
I think that's. I'd actually.
But that's fine because I'm not passionate about 8, 9, or 10, and either way, so those can all stay there. That's fine.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I would put basketball above Space Jam. But I understand.
Space Jam is more entertaining to me than basketball, so I would keep Space Jam above.
Yeah,
me personally.
I am also happy where it is, but
yeah. For the nostalgia alone, I'm fine.
For God's sakes, Richie, it made the S tier of a basketball list on tonight. Like, be happy with basketball. Miraculously, it's in this S tier. It's going to be in our championship for sports. Basketball will be an option.
Yeah.
Teen Wolf is going to be an option. Space Jam is going to be an option to vote on for the championship.
Yeah, that's right.
Which in the end, I think basketball, like for the overall championship, is going to be low. I just feel like it.
Yeah,
I never know.
I think the top 7 are all strong choices, but and maybe Space Jam.
After that, yeah.
After that, ever made a bad movie? I don't think so. It's Gavin O'Connor. He's not made a bad movie yet. All of his films have been like top shelf stuff.
Yeah.
Even his weakest one, The Accountant, is still a really good movie.
Yeah, true.
I'm torn on the Way Back over Glory Road, but that's just personal bias.
Oh yeah.
I think it. I mean, I debated basketball, but I actually don't mind. I don't mind that. I don't mind the way we've got it now.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think we're good the Way Back and Glory Road. I have no opinion on it. So but for like the 3 honorable mentions, I don't know. Like Celtic Pride's at least better than Air Bud. I feel like, but it's already set. I mean, that's where we put it. So
that's but the rankings we had. It kind of is where it is. We can, and we don't really debate and we would debate. We would debate which ones the honorable mentions would be, but there's only 3, and we allow 3, so there's nothing to debate here. Like we don't have to rank. It's fine where they are.
Lauren, honestly, I can see you not liking Air Bud, but not hating it either. I can see you kind of digging it a little bit. You wouldn't hate it.
Sure.
It's not too late to put Eddie in the honorable mentions, guys.
Yeah,
it's not too late.
Eddie, we're
Whoopi Goldberg should stay far away from basketball. Jesus. Yeah, the first thing I think of when I think basketball is Whoopi Goldberg.
There's a movie where she's harassing Brad Daugherty on the basketball court. That guy who was like a 1-year star from the Cleveland Cavaliers back in the day. It's like, okay.
She never plays, does she? She's the coach, right?
No, she's a coach. No, she's not playing. Thank God. No, that would be a whole different movie.
He's one of those fans that gets picked out of the crowd, I think, and then they're like, "You're the lucky winner," like C812 or whatever it is, and then she gets to be the coach or something.
I think she
It's
makes
all
a shot
convoluted.
at half court and then she becomes the coach somehow.
That's
Oh,
a hell of a
that's it,
prize.
It's weird that you're you want to contest. Oh, here's a responsibility. Here's a huge responsibility that you're not cut out.
Yeah.
Way to
right.
but before last season, I could actually see that happening when you're the coach of the Knicks.
Yeah.
Hey, the Knicks were
It's been-
respectable last season.
No. That's why I said before last.
Before
season.
last, yeah.
Okay, so what it is, I'm re-looking over the Wikipedia. So apparently, what it is, she wins a contest to be an honorary for the night assistant coach. So she's like the fan coach for like a night. That's like when they give the kids, like they sign the kids a 1-day contract in the NBA, like the kid who's going to die.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So you're not really an NBA player, but okay, fine. And it says Eddie impresses the team owner Frank Langella so much that he fires Dennis Farina, the actual coach. Places Dennis Farina with Eddie. So
Oh, it's guilty pleasure
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yikes.
Well-
Dude, that had a $30 million budget. How in the fuck did that movie cost $30 million?
I don't know why. You know why?
Got to rent out Madison Square Garden.
How much did it
Yeah, I
cost?
guess.
Too now, like this was in like Whoopi Goldberg in 1996. She was still a big star then.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
So it cost $30 million and grossed $31 million, just barely.
But
So
I
it's
made
still a
the-
flop, though. It's still a flop.
well,
Actually, probably in the end, actually lost money because of marketing and all that.
yeah, given
Marketing, yeah, lost money.
They'll still lose money or even break even. At the very best, break even, but doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
anyways, let's wrap it up. We
That'll do it
squeaked
for us.
through.
So, do you want to break down the top 10 of the
Yeah.
honorable mentions, Austin?
Sure. So in this one where did we have to stretch tonight, but we made it. We got a 10 and 3 honorable mentions. It is what it is. We had fun. Number 1, we're gonna have White Men Can't Jump with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. Number 2, we've got Sam Jackson and Coach Carter. Number 3, we've got the classic Hoosiers. Number 4, the great documentary Hoop Dreams. Number 5, Ben Affleck and The Way Back. Number 6, Disney's Glory Road. Number 7, Spike Lee's He Got Game. Number 8, Space Jam. Number 9, Michael J. Fox and Teen Wolf. Number 10, we've got the South Park guys with basketball, and our honorable mentions for the evening are Like Mike, Semi-Pro, and Air Bud.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
All right, good job, everybody.
Time. All right, so the top 10 will be in our sports championship eventually coming up. Like I think it's in like about 3 months away because we still got a few more.
Yeah, we still got
more
2
things
more.
to
We
cover.
got winter sports, and boy, if you thought I had to stretch for winter sports, we're gonna have to stretch for that one too. Because if I'm including the Disney Channel movie Johnny Tsunami on the list, then we're stretching for movies on that one. But yeah. I might put it S tier too. It's a pretty good movie. But yeah, we're stretching a little bit.
enjoy it.
Yeah, we lost Jordan for a second. He'll be back.
Yeah,
but I'll wrap it up here.
We have the one.
I always hit the wrong
I'm
button when
actually-
I'm trying to close out the chart. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah,
my
but we've
bad.
got
you know,
winter sports next. We got winter sports next coming up to coincide with the Winter Olympics if they actually happen because of COVID. They keep getting I don't know what's going to happen with it being in China. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be happening. So we'll be doing that one soon, and then we'll be wrapping it up before the championship with combat sports. So boxing, wrestling, amateur wrestling,
Ooh.
pro wrestling, martial arts
MMA,
tournaments,
all that,
movies, MMA, all that stuff. So combat sports will be our wrap up before we do what we've been doing. We'll throw all the top 10s into a big championship match, and we'll come up with a final top 10 sports movies in general. So yeah, we'll look forward to that.
Yeah, sounds good. So that'll do it for us tonight on Tier Ranker. I'm just glad that we finally made it to this episode because when we had to reschedule like 2 or 3 times, something like that. So yeah, we finally got it done. So
It gave me time to watch Crossover, so I'm grateful.
Yeah, right.
Are you?
Well,
Well,
I own it now, so I mean, I'm out $6 for it, but it's over there on my shelf.
Yeah. Give me time to watch the winning season and Wolves, like 2 lesser known movies that are really good. So yeah. But We'll go around the horn. You can tell us where we can find you. If you have anything that you want to promote. So I'll start with Richie. Where can we find you?
Yeah, find me online. Good Acre. I'm around all trivia spaces. I'll be on tomorrow, I think, for tournament fights. So get the one.
Yeah, the one crazy night.
One crazy night and day. Actually, part one, because we got so many of those. We're gonna have to do a 2-part episode. So yeah, we're doing the first 64 of those.
One crazy
That's
night
gonna
and
be a
day
fun
movie.
one.
So that should be fun. That'll be fun. I think in a couple weeks too, I'm on the best monster movies.
Oh yeah,
It'll
coming up.
be a literal monster mash. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We did the mash. We're gonna do the mash. We're gonna do the monster mash.
Yeah. So yeah. So that'd be fun. And then I'm around just keep all trivia space. I'm always, as well as I'm always on John P.S. Owens' channel. Just doing wrestling trivia and general movie trivia. So you can find me there. So yeah, I'm around.
That sounds good. Well, Ross, where can we find you?
You can actually find me now at this channel that me and my friend run called Mega Movie Z. And then we're gonna try and have Jordan when he watches Peacemaker. When the full season's done, we're gonna have them.
Yeah.
We're gonna have him on there. Yes, yeah. But still, just find me on there. And then I do have my own channel, which I hardly ever post on. But yeah. We actually have some really fun stuff going on the Mega Movie Z channel. Can I please plug our giveaway we have?
Yeah, sure.
We're actually doing a giveaway to where the winners will get the sealed copy of Batman Begins, and then we're actually giving a digital copy away of the Suicide Squad. But the winner is you got to get your friends together, and then who could ever do the best opening number of Peacemaker? We'll decide who the best one is.
Okay, there you go. Sounds good.
Hmm.
Jacob, where can we find you?
Yeah, I haven't seen Peacemaker yet, so I hear the opening number is pretty great, though.
Yeah.
But yes, you can find me here. I'm here a lot with you guys. It feels like
Yep.
I feel like
a lot.
I feel like
You and
Richie. I
Richie.
feel like we're just honorary co-hosts now.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can also find me on my own channel, a podcast about we got a podcast about wrestling with Jordan Owens. We're actually going to record a new episode tomorrow, talking about our history with the Royal Rumble, and since it's coming up on Saturday, so we're going to record that tomorrow, and I hope to have it uploaded by Thursday. So look out for that. I have a podcast about movies with this guy over here, Austin. We're going to record soon this week and get another episode out. Been lacking because I've been sick, but I am on the mend and I am feeling great and I am ready to talk more wrestling and movies. And so yeah, we're gonna get those out. We're gonna give Austin a break this week and not record until Saturday because he's got 18 shows this week apparently.
It's getting to the point where I've got 5 days in a row of shows. Yeah, so we're trying to do what we can. So yeah.
Well, Austin, where can we find you?
Yeah, so like I said, Jacob over there said a podcast about movies, so check that out. Yeah, we're going to be doing a show where we're going to be going through a bunch of different genres of movies and maybe highlighting some of our hidden gems, or ones we want to talk about, don't get talked about enough this week.
Hidden gems, underrated.
Yeah, underrated hidden gems kind of thing for a bunch of different genres, so that'll be fun. And then me and Henry Sanchez over there, we do a show called Let's Rank Stuff, and we're going to be a little more topical this week, and we'll be ranking the Scream franchise, including the new one. So we'll be talking about that and ranking those movies. But we got some fun episodes coming up after that. We're going to be doing Alien versus Predator. We're going to be ranking all those movies together, so that'll be fun. And in the future, Paul Thomas Anderson, a bunch of stuff like that. So we're having a lot of fun over in Let's Rank Stuff. So check it out.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, and you can find us on all the social medias at Movie Hero 2121. You can find the poll with our top 10 plus 3 honorable mentions on the Showdown Friends and Family group over on Facebook. And then just to plug a few upcoming shows that we have. We already talked about the best one Crazy Night / Day movies part 1. So we're gonna do part 1, and then in 1 month we're gonna do part 2, and then a month from then we're gonna have a championship round that's going to be a half bracket where we're just going to do the Sweet 16 from each bracket, and we're going to just do a bracket of 32 to determine our grand champion. So you can look forward to that. And then on Friday we have Best 70s Comedies coming up. So that's part of our comedy series we've been also doing. And then just a couple more episodes that we have. We'll be doing Best Simpsons Characters. Then we already talked about the Best Winter Sports movies coming up. And then we also have Best Jim Carrey movies coming up. And then also Best movies set mostly in one location. So like it takes primarily like in just one room or one building or something like that. So
12
yeah.
Angry Men for the win.
Yeah. So that'll be some fun stuff coming up for sure. So, but yeah, I think that will do it for us tonight. So, thanks again to all my guests for joining us tonight.
Oh yeah.
And thanks to Richie for kind of filling in last minute. So we only had 4 people, so it's nice to have at least 5. So,
If it's not me, it's Richie.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Always.
It's like Richie and Malcolm are always around. They're just kind of around. We need them talking about movies. It's all right. We like Richie. So it's all good.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so for Richie, for Ross, for Jacob, for Austin, I've been Jordan Movie Hero Anderson, and we will see you guys next time.